こいつは楽しめそうだ。
Fighters ready. Engage.
Hello, everybody. This is Hoovy 186. Along with the Traditionalist 101, we are back with the Overrated podcast, episode 16. We are a little late because because my friend here works like how many jobs do you work?
No. Right now it's just two jobs, and yeah, you could include the little side hustle, but if you talk about in a consistent basis, it's mainly two jobs. So that's my apologies, everyone. That you know how it is when you're trying to make extra money on the side. You got to put the work in, you got to put the hard work in. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
why
yeah,
we're late.
yeah. Like I said, it wasn't a big deal for me. I know Malta. I talked to Malta a little bit on the on Instagram. He was wondering where the podcast was, so I just had to let him know that I actually told him it was going to be yesterday, but I didn't hear from you, and plus I had to go to work. So,
Oh,
but we're here today. I mean, as long as we can get we get some topics in, and then hopefully Monday, hopefully we can talk about some of the other topics that we wanted to talk about.
yeah.
Plus, next week is the video game awards, so that's gonna be so that's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we still got to do the whole wager
Oh
if you
yeah, that's
still
right, that's right, that's right.
if you still want to do that.
Yeah, like I said, I've been busy too. Like I have a bunch of family stuff that I've been doing. But anyways, you can introduce yourself, man. And
Well, you kind of did it for me, but yeah, this is the traditionalist 101. You know how it is. We have to hold on to tradition. That's the only way it's going to work, y'all. That's the only way it's going to work. But I just want to just give one last, apology again. We're late, super late. I do want to keep, the podcast consistent, which is why, regarding to my second job, I'm going to make sure that there won't be any more interference from them, so that way we could, remain consistent, with this podcast. So, but yeah, we do have a lot of, topics. We actually have more than what you guys see on display, but we're going to save that, for next Monday, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah,
yeah.
for next Monday. So I'm looking forward for the next topics as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
All right. So all right.
So
So with that said, let's get started. First topic at hand is we got a couple of trade rumors. One is what you brought up, and then the other one is actually what I saw on TV today. So
mhm.
you can talk about the Kyrie stuff right now if you like.
Yeah, so here I'm going to share, this article. It's a pretty short article. I want to keep this one, short and brief, especially now that you have a topic that you want to discuss regarding to Lillard.
Yeah,
So
I think they're connected.
okay, so this is can you see it?
All right, let me pop it up right now. Okay.
Okay, so it basically says report Nets open trading, for Kyrie. Now, before I begin reading this, I'm pretty sure that you and I aren't really, surprised, because again, I know you and I have our differences when it comes to him and not taking the vaccine. Like I said before, I believe that he should have, done the whole part time, and I know you don't believe in that. And frankly, most people don't. A lot of people really prefer that the Nets actually, stood their ground. They put their foot on the ground and basically said, if you're not going to be full time, then you're not going to partake at all. And
I
I
agree.
honestly understand where people are coming from regarding to that. I do. I do. The only issue that I have is that because there is outside interference, with the state, it's not really like you said, like I've said, it's not a free choice in my opinion. Isn't they don't he doesn't really have a free choice because he's going to end up being punished by picking a choice that you don't want him to pick. So if this was him just being negligent and being showing a lot of misconduct, disobedience, or just wanting to show up whenever he felt like it, then I could understand. If this was injuries, then I could understand. But because there's outside interference regarding to the vaccine, and if you told him that he actually have the right to pick whatever he wants, then if he chose not to get it, then make him do part time, make him play road games. But that's either here or there. Let's begin with this article. So it's pretty short, so which is actually a good thing. The Brooklyn Nets maintain they welcome back Kyrie if he changes his stance on getting vaccinated, but they're open to discussing trade offers for their superstar guard. Sources told SNY Lag Bagley.
Ian.
Ian,
Yeah.
isn't that? Oh, my bad. Okay, yeah. Brooklyn has reportedly been open to such talks in recent weeks, but hasn't courted offers or initiated negotiations itself. Due to public health measures in effect in New York City, Irving is unable to participate in home games at Barclays Center, and 29-year-old could still practice at Nets facility and participate in road games. See, now look, I know once again you disagree, but this is all I really wanted from Kyrie. Well, I should say for the new from the Nets. Let him play road games. Let him play road games. Why? Because once again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but because there's outside interference with the state, and if you told him, and this is what they said he could choose whatever decision that he wants, and they're not going to, force him, to pick one or the other. If that is the case, and because there's outside interference from the NBA, let him play road games. If he's able to practice, let him play road games. But they're not going to do that, which actually, I believe it's a frustrating thing to me, because what I'm witnessing is I know you're not gonna like this, but what I'm witnessing is somebody's freedom is being violated, in my opinion. But let's continue. But management elected to withhold a 7-time All-Star from playing until he is a full-time member of the team. I don't think this part is important, but Irving has a 34.
It is important. It is important.
Oh, this
I'm
is
gonna tell you.
important.
I'm gonna tell
Go
you
ahead,
why
go
it's
ahead.
important.
Go ahead.
You can't sit here and talk about your freedom being violated while collecting that check. You see, if he felt like, again, I don't want to go through this again, but at the very least, the Brooklyn Nets are still paying him. They're paying him. They
Mm-hmm.
said, listen, if listen, you cannot have part time players on the team. They put their foot down. Do I think that his past transgressions are the reasons why he's are the reason why they put their foot down with this case? Yes, I do. I do think him being a general pain in the ass to them since he's been there does is the reason why I think they put their foot down with this. But at the end of the day, they are paying him. And if you want to refuse to not get the vaccine, that's fine. And they have the
No,
right.
it's no. You can't see you're doing what they're doing. You can't say it's fine. He's
No,
not
that's
able to
fine
play,
because it is because they're paying him.
but he's not playing.
Oh, that's fine, but they're paying him. He's still getting his money. Now, it would this situation would be a lot uglier if they weren't paying him for, let's say, if they weren't paying him for home games, essentially, right? But they are. They're still paying him. And if the laws in New York change tomorrow, he'll be back on the team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like again, like, I understand the idea that, well, actually, no, I don't understand the idea of it being unfair to him, because I don't think he deserves any type of fair of fair of I don't think he deserves the benefit of the doubt. One, he's still getting paid, right? He's still getting paid, and two,
Right.
like, like, it is what it is. Like, but the thing with the Nets is that I think they're tired, frankly, of him, kind of trying to dictate what he does, what he can do. that contradict what the Nets want him to do. They don't want him dictating what he can do. That's why I compared the situation with him and Ben Simmons, because at the end of the day, both players are dictating what they want to do. That goes counter to what the team wants to do. It is what it is. The situation don't have to be the same, but that's what they want. But that's what he is going against going against their wishes, right? Now, all right, that's all. That's all I wanted to bring up.
We're not going to dispute or have or be crawling over this topic again, but I understand what you mean by it's regarding to the team's wishes. But at the end of the day, once again, in my opinion, if you disagree, that's fine. But in my opinion, I know you say that he doesn't want to play in Philadelphia. Kyrie Irving doesn't want to play basketball. Period. It seemed like from what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
For me, like I said before, the reason why they're not the same, in my opinion, is that with Ben Simmons, it's a basketball issue. He got we could all count. He got criticism, from Doc Rivers. He was criticized, by Joel Embiid, at first. He's been criticized from people from the media. He's been criticized from fans. And everybody, just all they ask him to do is for progression.
Oh,
no, I'm serious.
No. Look, you see who's in the chat?
No, I'm looking at the article. Who is it?
Look who's in the chat.
Oh my gosh! Look who it is. Shout
out to the homie Brendan Chandler.
Yeah, shout out. Did you send the share on the group chat?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did what I normally do.
Oh, okay. So what I was saying, well, the reason why I believe that it's not the same is because all the criticism that he got, is just the truth. He didn't shoot the ball. He played bad in the playoffs. He hasn't improved his shooting ability ever since he went to the league. So if people are going to criticize you because you played awful in a particular playoff game, then what do you expect? So he does not want to play there because of the criticism, if he felt betrayed, or they're asking him to get better in basketball. With Kyrie Irving, it has nothing to do with basketball, in my opinion. It has nothing to do with basketball. I believe because what you're basically saying is he wouldn't play even if the vaccine never existed. That's essentially what you're saying, because you basically said, oh, he just doesn't want to play basketball. So whether
not bad. No, I said he doesn't want to play basketball bad enough.
No, I don't remember hearing saying bad enough.
That's what I meant. If you're not willing to take a vaccine that everyone else has gotten because of your stances, because here's the thing, according to what I heard, it's not the vaccine that he's against. He's against the mandate of the vaccine. Look, either you're for it or you're not. Don't give me this bullshit. Oh, I'm against the mandate of the vaccine. No, you don't give a shit. You don't care. If you had the option to take the vaccine or not to take the vaccine, you're not going to take the vaccine, right? And his problem is that he doesn't want to take the vaccine, but he doesn't like the idea of a mandate of the vaccine. That's what he doesn't like. But he's using it as a scapegoat for his actual what he really don't want to do. He doesn't want to take the vaccine at all. He doesn't want to take the vaccine at all, which is fine. But don't sit there and act like, oh, you're saying, oh, I'm not against the vaccine. No, you are against the vaccine. If you're not gonna take the vaccine, you're against it. This is simple.
Well, you could disagree with something and not be for something, and that still should be okay. Because for me, like when people say that I'm not against the vaccine, I'm against the mandate. A lot of people say that. Especially a lot of conservatives, they all say that. For me,
okay.
You taking the vaccine, other friends, taking the vaccine. That's perfectly fine, but I don't think it should be forced. And you and I had this argument, a couple of months back. You told me that, oh, not everything is 100%, which is fine. which is fine. But for me, if it's going to be mandated, it better be 100%. If you are telling people that have to take something by force, it had better be 100%. That's what my stance was. So regarding with Kyrie Irving, if he's against the mandate, I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't.
No,
And
but
if
my problem is that he's using it as a scapegoat for him not taking the vaccine. He doesn't want to take the vaccine.
right.
Just say you don't want to take it. Don't come up with this bullshit about, I'm against the mandate and people losing their job. You don't give a shit about those people.
I mean, he could say both. He could be
No,
both.
no. To me, he's full of it. Just say you don't want to take the vaccine. That's it. That's it. Because there was a rumor, and I don't know if this is true. So I don't want to give this much credence. But there's some rumor that he's willing to take a plant-based version of the vaccine.
Can you even do that?
I don't know. I don't know. Like with all this weird shit that's been going on lately, like I don't know. But if you're willing, let's say for example, if you're willing to take a quote plant-based vaccine, then I mean the mandate didn't change. The mandate is still there. So what's really your issue? Is it the vaccine itself or the mandate? What's the real issue here?
I think the real issue is just he's afraid to take it. He doesn't want to put something in his body that he doesn't trust.
But that's not what he's saying. He's concentrating on the mandate and not talking about if you don't want to take the vaccine because if you're going to do what Aaron Rodgers did, then that's fine. The reason why Aaron Rodgers got in trouble was because he tried to lie about it. That's the problem. And when all he had to do was just say straightforward, "Yo, I don't want to take the vaccine." That's it. And that's all Kyrie Irving had to say. "Yo, I don't want to take the vaccine."
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Now, unfortunately for him, he plays in a state that has a mandate.
That's the problem.
So, it is a problem for him. But my overall point from the last time we talked about this is that if you're going the real issue here between the correlation between both Ben and Kyrie is that their teams are not going to let their players dictate what they do, and that goes against what the mission of the team is. The Brooklyn Nets job mission is to win a championship, right? That's what their goals are. The 76ers goal was to win a championship.
Correct.
And in each situation, they have one player who doesn't want to take the vaccine for whatever reason, and unfortunately, because of where they live at, that's problematic for them. And instead of letting him dictate when he wants to play, so that he can maintain his maintain his status as non-vaccinated, when everyone else in the organization are vaccinated, they're like, "Yo, listen, do what you're gonna do, but we can't have you here part-time. We can't do that here. It's not fair to the players. It's not fair to the organization." With Ben Simmons, all they wanted him to do was get better. Now you can't deny that they threw him under the bus during that series against the Hawks.
They did?
Yeah, they did.
I think it's fair criticism that he got.
I do think it's fair. I think it's fair criticism too.
But that's not throwing him under the bus.
No. They threw him under the bus to the media. To the media, because Doc Rivers, and he can bullshit his way, try to bullshit his way out of this all he wants. He absolutely threw Ben Simmons under the bus.
Really?
When he was asked that question, "Oh, do you think Ben Simmons is the type of point guard that you can take to the finals?" And he didn't answer it the way that he was supposed to answer it. And when Joel Embiid, was asked about what was the turning point, who did he point to? The situation with Ben not taking the dunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then what happened? And all they want, look, they did throw him under the bus, but at the end of the day, all they wanted him to do was you have to get better. And he decided, you know what, I'm gonna take my ball, I'm gonna demand a trade, and that's it. In both cases, and this is the only similarity that I chose from it, right? Obviously, they're both two different situations, but the main thing is that you have two players who are trying to dictate what they want their team to do.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in both teams in that case are not going for it. That's all I'm saying. But okay, so all right, so back to the actual topic. So what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You said this part, was important when it
No, no,
says
no. It
Kyrie.
was no. I was just trying. I was BSing you on the whole freedom thing. Because I can't. I don't know how you can decry freedom when you're still getting paid all that money. You know what I'm saying? But no,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I mean, that's a good point. But I do believe that he does wants to play. But I know you don't. But I,
no,
I
no,
do think
no, I mean, I think he wants to play, but not bad. But again, I don't think he wants to play badly enough to do what's required that everyone else on the team were required to do. I refuse to believe that he's the only guy who didn't want to take the vaccine. I know for a fact there's people all throughout that organization that didn't want to take the vaccine,
hmm
but in order to comply with the state with the state to comply with the requirements that they have when it comes to that organization and their need to win a championship, to remove themselves from the shadows of the New York Knicks, and like that. Their singular goal is to win a championship, and they
yeah,
need everybody to be on board. You can't be part time. You have to be full time on this. I mean that's pretty much what I'm trying to say. But like, okay, so
So yeah. So my here are my overall thoughts. When it comes to this,
mhm.
do I think that he should be traded? Well, now that we know for a fact, because look how long has it been now. Like we're reaching December. We're going to go to January. If they're not going to have him play part time, you might as well just trade him. You might as well just trade him because look, at the end of the day, you have a guy who is standing firm with his stance that he
Mhm.
does not want to take the vaccine. And look, there's other people that doesn't want to take the vaccine right now, and I get it. I 100% understand where they're coming from because where my stance is. I'm not taking it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not taking it. But at the end of the day, if they are not going to allow him to play part time, despite the fact that it's out of his control and out of their control, which is why I think it's BS that they're not making him play part time anyway. But because they're not going to let him play, they might as well just trade him so that they could win a championship. Frankly, they're already still a championship team anyway. They can still compete for a championship right
Yeah,
now,
they're number one they're number one in the Eastern Conference.
which is
Mainly
which was which is
mainly be,
why
mainly
which is
because of
why
mainly
wh-
because the MVP candidate
wh-
Kevin Durant.
right now the person that's going to win MVP is Steph
It,
Curry,
it, yeah,
and I
obviously.
guarantee you, if he continues to play like this, it's going to be another unanimous MVP
What's the main reason why Brooklyn's number one right now?
because of KD and James Harden.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's because of KD.
I already showed you his numbers.
That's fine. That's fine. He's playing better. He's playing better.
Thank you.
But when he wasn't playing well, who was the main guy?
It was KD, but guess what? They weren't number one at the time.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But
Thank
they,
you.
but he kept him. But he
Yes.
kept him afloat. He kept him afloat. He kept him afloat. And he is their best player.
Yeah, for this year, he is their
No,
best
no,
player.
no. He's their best player.
This year, yes.
Period.
Yes.
Period.
This year, yes.
Period.
This year, yes.
Okay. All
Absolutely.
right. Wait. Okay. Okay. All right. Whatever. All right. All right. The
So
reason why. The reason why.
go ahead.
Okay. Go. Do you have anything else to say?
No,
Because
you could go ahead. You could go ahead.
okay. Because first off, Brendan actually agrees with you. Maybe
Oh, let me
because
let me see. Let me see this. Let me
yeah.
see this. Let me. I wish you should have read it.
No,
Okay.
no. I read it. Maybe because there are so many vaccines out there and some are killing people.
Yes.
Or
Absolutely, Brandon. Yes.
there. I I don't
Look,
agree with that. But
what do you don't
okay.
agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that.
We showed you articles in the chat of reports of people getting sick and people dying after taking the vaccine. Now,
Mhm.
look, listen. I don't want to get a strike from this podcast or anything like that. All I'm saying, I just find it to be very suspicious that people have died after taking the vaccine.
Like
After,
me, like me, right?
after.
Like me, right?
What about you?
Yeah, I took the vaccine.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, well, anyways, and
Yeah,
he
that's fine.
he also said he maybe wants to take the one with the least amount of deaths. Two, maybe the mandate sets a time frame to have the vaccine, but he's not comfortable with his options. Mandates are pretty strict. Yeah, they are strict.
Yes,
They are strict.
absolutely.
They are strict. But that's what everybody else on that team took the vaccine. And you cannot reward people who don't want to comply, and while everyone else had to, and give him special treatment.
Hmm.
I guarantee you his teammates are not going to be
No,
are
what's
not
up,
going
bro?
to be. I guarantee you his teammates would not be okay with that.
Yeah.
Definitely would not be okay with that. But okay, but all right, but back on track. The reason why I think these rumors are relevant is because of what I heard on TV just now, right? The Portland Trailblazers, and I said this from jump. The Portland Trailblazers right now, they're 11-14. Now there's a bunch of teams on the West Coast that are in that 11 to 12, 11 to 14 range, right? From I think from 6 all the way down. They're right now they're the 10th seed. CJ McCollum right now, he has a collapsed lung. So he's gonna be out
Yeah,
indefinitely.
I heard about that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wow.
Yeah, he's gonna be out indefinitely, right? This team right now, they're not going anywhere. They're going nowhere. And Damon Lillard has been there for 10. I don't know how many. I don't know officially how many years he's been there, but he's been there for a long time. He's been there his entire career. He's a champion, but he's not in a championship organization right now, right? They Portland is on the verge of rebuilding, and in order for that to happen, they're going to have to trade Dame, and likely they're going to trade CJ McCollum as well. Now, I don't know what Oregon's vaccine mandate is, but because obviously Portland is in the Northwest, Washington in the same area, they have a mandate, but I don't know about Oregon. And
I'm not sure about Oregon either.
yeah,
You said
but
Washington has a mandate?
Washington State, yeah, all government officials. I don't know about the players, but I know all government officials have to be vaccinated over there. So I don't know what the situation is with when it comes to the team, because they only have because Washington only has one professional. Well, no, they have two. They have the Seahawks and they have the Kraken, which is the expansion hockey team. But
Hmm.
but the thing right now, I guarantee you they're going to trade him at some point. They're going to trade him at some point. So to me, and I told that's why I told you don't trade Ben Simmons right away. This is I told you so. You want to sit there and bring up all these I told you so about Ben Simmons doing this,
Yeah,
doing that, doing this, and doing that.
yeah, yeah.
Now, the reason why I told you not to trade Ben Simmons after the Hawk game, after the Hawk series, and to trade him after and not trading him right away is because of a situation like this. Granted, Damian Lillard, he's having a bad year, especially up to his standard. But you have a bona fide, super all star, borderline Hall of Famer. I think he's gonna be in Hall of Fame sometime. And at some point they're not look that team's not good enough. They're going to get bad. They're going to go bad. And at some point they're going to trade him in order to rebuild. That's why if you're Brooklyn and if you're Philadelphia, you find a way to get him. You get him there. If Kyrie Irving still holds on to his stance about not wanting to play, if you're Brooklyn, you have to consider trading him.
For Ben
Yeah.
Simmons?
No. Kyrie
Oh,
for Dame.
oh, for Dame.
Yeah. If the situation lines up, but especially if you're Philadelphia, if Ben Simmons, if you're gonna trade Ben Simmons, there you go. Get Dame, because he to me he's the coveted prize right now when it comes to trades. He's
I,
gonna
I,
be
honestly, as much as that would be fascinating, something tells me, I just have a hunch that Philadelphia will probably feel that Damian Lillard is not enough.
no. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he be enough?
I believe they would probably think that he's not enough.
Come on, you have okay. Right now, Philadelphia has Joel Embiid, and that's it. Okay, Tobias Harris is a good player. He ain't nothing special.
No.
You know, they have,
I mean enough to trade for. I believe that Philadelphia probably thinks that trading Ben Simmons for Damian Lillard is not enough.
how is it not enough? You get a guy, you get an all-star, you get like how is it not enough? You get a bona fide all-star.
I just have a weird feeling that that's how they feel, that it's not a, because would you because I remember you was going all crazy and giving so much acclaim to Ben Simmons, saying that he's just as good as Giannis, except for his
No,
you know,
I didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth.
Yes.
I said that their skill set were similar.
Okay.
I didn't say he was better than I didn't say he was on the same level as Giannis Antetokounmpo. I never said that.
Well, that basically means the same thing.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
The skill set is basically the same.
No, it doesn't.
That's what you're basically saying.
No,
you said that their skill set is the same.
Not how great they are. Because Oliver Miller and Shaquille O'Neal had the same skill set.
Who?
Oliver Miller and Shaquille O'Neal had a similar skill set. Big fat dudes who can pass the ball. The difference is that Shaquille O'Neal, one of the greatest centers of all time, Oliver Miller was a nobody. You can have a similar skill set, but the skill level are not the same. You can do the same thing, but one can do it a lot better and a lot better than the other guy. That's what I mean by that. What's going on, Double Shit? How you doing, man?
No, okay. Well, I was just going, based on what you were saying, but
okay.
Silly question. Do you think trading McCollum and Lillard for Ben Simmons is too much?
For who?
For Ben Simmons.
I mean, if you can get a commitment from if you're Portland and you can get a commitment for Ben Simmons to actually play, why not do the trade? You do that, get a draft pick or two. I would do it.
You would do it. You would trade both guys.
Yeah.
For one guy.
Yeah, but he has to be committed to playing there. I
mean, he's not going to be committed to play there, because if you trade both guys for him, like you said, they're rebuilding. He's not going to win. He's not going to win anything over there by rebuilding.
Well, I mean, he don't want to play for a team that's a title contender. So, like, I mean, what options does he have?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
What option does he have?
Very good point.
Like, if I'm Philadelphia, like, this is either this or we can send your ass to Sacramento. You know what I'm saying? At least Portland, even with the struggles that they have a track record of being a great organization. You know what I mean? At least they have that. Yeah. And if they're rebuilding, and let's say if he wants to be the leader of that, then yeah, why not? Why not? You know what I mean? Like, and when it comes to Brooklyn and Kyrie, like I said, like if he's gonna help steadfast on his stance, then if you have Damian Lillard or even CJ McCollum ready in the wings, I would pull. Well, I wouldn't trade Kyrie for CJ. No, I wouldn't.
That's crazy. Yeah,
that's crazy.
I was about to say, like, what are you saying?
but Kyrie for Dame. You have to look at it seriously, legitimately.
I mean, frankly, for me, I don't think, in my opinion, the next organization should already be aware. They're not stupid. They can't be this dumb. They should be aware that right now, currently, as the team is constructed, they are a championship team. They could beat anybody in the Eastern Conference. Anybody.
Yeah, but their chances are increased by having Damian Lillard there, or at least having Kyrie back.
They don't need them.
They
don't need either. They don't need either of those players right now.
I always tell you this: great teams will always try to get better.
That's fine, but I don't want to see a super team, where now there's no other team in the league will be able to compete. We already had this discussion already. I'm not. If you want to be such a strong powerhouse, that's fine. But then when you start having Avengers with 2 Hulks. Now you're pushing it. That's just overkill. That's overpower. I'm not interested in that. Having the Avengers is fine, but when you're having the Avengers with an extra incredible Hulk, that's too much.
Listen,
And
what I
look,
saw.
I like competition. That's what I care about. I know you don't, but that's
No,
what I care about.
I like.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, no, no.
Yeah, I do.
If you cared about competition, you would be on my side on this.
No.
If
Your
you care
side,
about
makes no sense. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, it makes perfect sense. That's why people hated KD for going to Golden State, because there was no way any other team would be able to compete. Competition matters when it comes to sports. You know that.
Okay.
You know this. I don't have to say that to you. But when he went to Golden State, everybody was furious about that, because because the team was already dominating the league without him.
Okay, but they didn't win the championship.
They did. And
no, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Did.
No, they didn't. When they got him the previous year, they didn't win a championship. That's something you keep forgetting that. You keep forgetting that. And now here's my thing, right? This league has been predicated on super teams. It has been the reason why you don't realize it is because the way they built it back then were different. Like the Boston Celtics of the 80s were a super team. The LA Lakers of the 80s were a super team.
Nah,
the Chicago Bulls, at least the second half of that team were a super team. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is the way that they build it now is different. Now it has, free agency plays a big part of it. But at the end of the day, like, if you're dominant, why would you want to relinquish that? Why would you want to relinquish that? Like the Golden State Warriors realized, even though we won 73 games, we ultimately didn't get the job done. So, and we have this guy
because of the interference from the league. That's why. But
because they couldn't beat another super team that was built in Kyrie, LeBron, and Kevin Love. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, here's the thing: they realized that even though we won all those regular season games, at the end of the day, we didn't get the job done. We didn't. So we got someone. The only player that has ever struck fear in us, who took it to a 7-game outside of LeBron, Kevin Durant, at the time the second best player in the league, right? We're able to get him, and we can afford him. Why would I not want to do that?
Well, Houston did the same thing. They took him to a Game 7 also.
Well, that was with Kevin Durant, right? Yeah, that was when Kevin Durant was on the team, right?
Yeah.
So but you at the time, I'm talking about at the time. At the time. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Why wouldn't you want the second best player in the world on your team? It don't make like again. I can talk like, look, you're always going to be out there competing. Like every time the Warriors competed, they always got the team's best shot, right? The two most memorable Heat games that I can remember was the Heat against those super team Warriors teams, where the LeBron James game winner. No, not the Dwayne Wade game winner.
That 3-pointer, right?
Yeah, and then I think and then a year earlier, it was Dion Waiters with a game winner with 1 second left. Why were those games so special? Because it was a team. Granted, the Warriors team were the super team, and the Miami Heat gave them their best shot, and in those two cases, beat them. You know what I mean? Like that. You're always going to be competing, but the thing is that when it comes to competitors, you have to put the odds in your favor. That's what the organization's there to do. They're supposed to put the odds in their favor. They're not supposed to worry about, Houston being able to compete with us. They don't care. Why would they care? and as a fan of the NBA, I understand why they did what they did. I understand because
you're getting it mixed up. I'm not upset with the organization for saying Kevin Durant. I'm upset with Kevin Durant for going to that organization. That's not the same thing.
You discredit their championships.
Yeah, I discredit his championships. Yes.
No. But the championship doesn't say Kevin Durant. It says Golden State Warriors.
I discredit Kevin Durant's championships.
How can you?
That's what
you can't discredit his championship because he's the one that helped him win it.
Those championships are fraudulent championships. They are fake
For who?
championships.
For who? For who? The Warriors or Kevin Durant? Because the championship says Golden State.
That's fine.
So
That's
you
fine.
can't. So don't say you're not mad at Golden State if you're discrediting the
Nobody,
championships.
no fans nor anyone in the media ever criticized Klay Thompson or Steph Curry's additional championships. They only criticize KD's. That's it. They only talk about KD's championships. Nobody else.
But the thing is that the championships are the same with him on there. They had those championships because of him. So
they would have won more championships without him anyway.
Maybe not. But the fact is that he was there and he was a major part of those championships. So like, you know,
of course he was. Like anybody could have easily won those championships. Like, come on, man.
Right, but the one that did was him and the Warriors.
What can you imagine if Shaquille O'Neal went to that Bulls team? Like what the hell? What would be the point of competing? What's the point? So
hey man, that's not the Bulls' problem.
When Kevin Durant went to Golden State, there was no purpose to compete anymore. Because
but NBA team still did.
And
NBA team still did.
And look what happened. They got destroyed.
Okay,
the Cavs got swept and they lost what?
I think they lost in 5 games the next year.
Yes.
Okay.
There was no competition, man. There was no competition.
But even still, eventually it ended. Toronto ended them. So like, you know, like I said, people
because of injuries.
Yeah, that's fine. But like at the end of the day, like that's part of it. That's part of it. Look at the history of the NBA championships. They don't care about injuries. Like, you know, the Detroit Pistons won a championship because Magic Johnson was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't say that in their championship rings. It just say, yo, we won a championship. That's it. That's it. Like, you know, like okay, but we've gone off topic. Where are we now? Oh, are we done with this topic? Like,
yeah, I think we're pretty much. You think he should be traded also?
I think that Damian Lillard is going to be on another team within the next 2 months. 2-3 months. He's gonna be on
2 months
before the trade deadline. He'll be on another team. He'll be on another team because I think that they need to start rebuilding. They're wasting his prime. You know what I mean? With this team that they have, like they gone as far as they can with him. And I think it's time. I think it's time. And that's why I told you, you don't rush to trade this dude right away. You wait.
I still stand by my stand. They should have rushed to trade him because look at all the crap that they're going through now.
Hey, that's fine. But now all that could be rewarded by trading for Damian Lillard.
Yeah, but I think they could have gotten a decent player if they traded him right away.
Maybe not. But at the end of the day, but you know, you can like it's a lot easier to trade if you're Portland, right? It's a lot easier to trade Damian Lillard now, knowing that the team that you have is just not good enough. It's easier to do it now than it was back then when you had no idea and you just got off watching this guy who is a very skilled player pretty much shrink in the playoffs.
He got exposed in the playoffs. That's what happened.
Yeah, he
got exposed.
Shrink exposed, like don't matter the wording, like it is what it is.
Yeah, he choked, and he didn't want to do what he needed to do to win. So you need to get rid of his ass. Excuse my language.
But you know, at the end of the day, it's better to wait and trade him than to do it rushing the judgment. Because now I guarantee you that if they're going to trade him, they're going to get something substantial back for him. At least that's what they should do. That's what they should do. So
okay, all right. So let's talk it. Next topic.
Okay. I think online legislation.
Oh, you want me? All right. So I'll cover that. Hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. If not, then you know, my bad. But you know, there's always room for improvements. So anyway, let me see if I can share this real quick. So share. I'm really looking forward to this topic because I really want to know what your thoughts, regarding to this. Tell me if you could see it.
Yep, we're good.
You can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so all right. Um, as you all see the title, it basically says a new U.S. bill could ban use of console scalper bots.
Wait, did this bill pass already?
No,
Okay.
no. Yeah, and that was actually one of the things I was going to actually address. That now before begin reading, I wanted to know your opinion firsthand. Are you okay with people scalping? I don't think we ever finished talked about that in the chat. Are you okay with scalpers?
I like it. For me, like if people can do it, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I
So you
think
are
I'm not for it, but it's just like I can't. I can't. I don't have enough energy to be against it. If you get what I'm saying.
so if this bill actually comes to pass, you are actually against the bill.
No. They can do what they want. Like I'm fine with the bill. Like it doesn't affect me. So that's
Yeah, it
why I
does
don't have.
affect you. It affected all of us, the ones that we were, at least when we was trying to get the console. It affected
No,
everybody. What do you mean it didn't
it didn't,
affect you?
it didn't affect me.
It did.
No, it didn't.
We all was trying to get our hands on the consoles.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't.
No, now you say you wasn't.
No, I wasn't at all. Like like all the bitching I've been doing about the PS5. Why would I get one?
What was
And
your
and I also said that if I'm going to buy a console, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna buy it in the store. That's what I was gonna do. I was not going to buy one online. At least not from Amazon or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't gonna do that.
All right, so
But
here you go.
it doesn't affect me. But like I said, if it's something that is outlawed, then I'm fine with it. Like I don't care.
No, all right, so let's continue with the topic then. So um a group of US Democrats have introduced a new bill in the hope that it will ban the use of bots to scalp high value items, including game consoles. Now, it says that the Stopping Grinch Bots Act. This is basically the name of the of the bill, I guess. The Stopping Grinch Box Act is introduced by Representative Paul Tonko. I think that's how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
What just happened?
No, scroll down. This ad popped up. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah. Okay. Senator Richard Blue Menthol. I guess that's how you say it.
Richard Blumenthal.
Yeah, isn't that what I said?
You said it weirdly.
Okay. Oh man. Okay. What's this one right here?
Lujan.
Lujan or Luhan?
Lujan. I think it's Lujan. Lujan. It could be Lujan too.
Okay. All right. So all these senators, and is designed to crack down on bot technology. Now, bots work by automatically notifying users when high value items come in stock at retailers. Before circumventing any wait time, adding items to their cart, and then completing the checkout process, giving users a huge advantage over regular consumers. These kinds of tools aren't new. Collectors of sneakers and tickets sometimes use automated tools for identifying restocks. However, gaming sharp rise in the popularity during the pandemic. I remember you and I discussed this just recently. How the gaming industry and how gaming and streaming overall had drastically increased because of the whole pandemic situation.
But I also remember our mutual friend saying that it happens with the shoes all the time when it comes to the bots.
Yeah.
So
yeah. He actually mentioned it here also. Now, look. Before I continue on, I really do want to say this. I remember I had told you and a couple of the guys in the chat that I knew that this was not going to be just a console problem. Like we're already having problems, with lumber. We're having problems, with toys. We're having problems, with I guess certain comics and like you said, sneakers and certain merchandise, jewelry, Rolexes, all that stuff. So to me, this is actually a benefit for everybody. All reasons, not just the consoles. This is we're talking about Nikes, we're talking about Jordans, we're talking about jewelry, we're talking about all these stuff. So to me, let me tell you before I continue on, the reason why I believe that the Democrats or whoever wants to introduce this and make this into law, I think the reason why is because I think they got affected too.
Yeah. You know what? It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
that to me, again, this is just speculation. This is just me, making assumptions. I believe they got affected too.
I wouldn't surprise me.
Because
Let me also say this. Because this is because, and how I am when it comes to people like Candace Owens, right?
Oh, here, and Ben
Not a
Shapiro,
fan.
yeah,
Not a fan. But when she tweeted out that, and I got in this phone calls when it comes to car warranty companies, right? When it comes to car companies, when it comes to like companies wanting your car to be under some type of stupid warranty or some bullshit like that, she said that if she ever gets elected, that she would outlaw them. Let me tell you something. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't vote for her, but that's a major step. That's a major step in direction towards doing it. No, like
why can't I believe this?
look, every time, look, dude, once a day, I always get these fucking phone calls from these people wanting, my car to be in some type of warranty. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Hey, how'd you get my number? Like, click, like, get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? So, like, my point is that it wouldn't surprise me if legislation exists because of how annoying it is to deal with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, look, I'm not like, again, like, the reason why, like I said, it doesn't affect me because, like, like I said, I don't buy consoles online. I don't. But I know my sister did, and I know she paid above market value for her PS5. She won't even tell me how much she paid for it.
Oh, she's embarrassed. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Which sister are we talking about? The older one or the younger one?
The one. Oh, they're both younger than me.
Well, okay.
I mean, they're both older. I mean, they're both younger than me. But like the my oldest sister.
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, like, I understand the situation, and like I said, even though it doesn't affect me, I'm fine with them doing the legislation because, like I said, it like, it is what it is. You got people who are, it is not fair to the consumers who want to buy it online. It's not fair to them.
Okay, so yeah, so yeah, that was my little assumption. I believe that Republicans, Democrats, everybody, politicians, because again, this is affecting everybody.
Mm-hmm. Well, to be fair, the only people I see here are Democrats that are sponsoring this bill.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
So
pretty much.
like, like I said, I don't know. If Democrats are like, I don't know if Republicans are going to vote for the bill. They seem to be very much just obstructing just to obstruct. But like I said, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm very interested to see how this bill if it comes to law.
Yeah.
And if it don't come to law, and I know this affects you a lot more than it does me, what are you gonna say about it?
If this actually comes into fruition?
No. If it gets shot down.
Oh, if it gets shut down
due to due to Republican obstruction.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would have a couple of things to say about that. I'll have a couple of things to say about that. But let me continue on because I am enjoying the the article a bit. I mean, you probably know not, but I am. But however, gaming sharp rise in popularity during the pandemic. Yeah, we already discussed this already. You and I already experienced that. When we would just constantly play games together, going to each other's houses, our friends would come over because there was nothing to do. Everything was shut down. Yeah. So I'm not surprised that it happened elsewhere. Now, I hope that the new bill was signed into law, as was the Better Online Ticket Sales Act, which was introduced by Tonko Blumenthal.
No, Blumenthal.
Blumenthal?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was Blumenthal. Okay, whatever. In 2016, to make it illegal to use bots to buy event ticket
you
event
skipped the
tickets.
name.
Hey, was it what happened?
You skipped the name.
Scoomer, whatever his name is.
Charles Schumer.
Scoomer.
Schumer.
I think it's Scoomer.
It's Schumer. I've heard the name.
No, all right. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm just I'm just messing with you, and you fell for it. But
Whatever.
no, just your reaction was amazing. Well, okay, in 2016, to make it illegal to use bots to buy event. Okay, did you know about this?
No, I didn't know about it. But if they did get this thing passed before, then that's a good sign. That's a good sign.
All right. So the new legislation, if passed, would apply a similar ban, keyword, to online retail sites, making it illegal to use bots to buy up stocks as soon as it's made available. Now, look, hey, you know all the crap that I had to deal with, along with our friends, where we would try to buy a console and then we couldn't get it; it would crash.
Yeah, that's true.
So we already experienced this already. Now, this is not anecdotal. This is not my personal experience.
I've heard everybody deal with it.
Yes,
my sister dealt with it.
Exactly. So lots of people are dealing with this, and I remember that you had mentioned this to me, and then I looked it up, and it actually became true when this dude bought a whole bunch of hand sanitizers, I guess, or toilet paper.
Yeah.
And
okay. All right. I'm glad you mentioned that, because there is one aspect of it where it does bother me. Right?
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, what happened to the stance of using the same energy? What happened to consistency?
They're different.
Oh my gosh.
I'll tell you different, and you will agree with me on this. Right? Yeah, I remember we had this argument before.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we both live in Florida, right? Florida is a huge state for hurricanes, right?
Okay.
Now you have these dipshits who will buy 10 pallets of water, bottled water, and not save some for everybody else. Here's the difference. Though the PS5 and all
indulge me. This better be good.
No. PS5. Those are luxury items. You don't need a PS5. You don't need one. Especially you don't need like 50 of them, but you don't need a PS5. But when it comes to hurricane season, everyone needs at least water. They need canned goods. They need all that stuff.
Okay.
And you have people who are buying up all, and at the time, hand sanitizer because of the pandemic, right?
Yes.
You have a bunch of people who need these things to survive, and you have one dipshit who's too selfish enough to buy up all the water, buy up all the canned goods, buy up all the sanitizer, and leave everyone else in the lurch. And then some of these dipshits will even go on and sell. I remember the dude tried to sell all that hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
And I think he failed in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to him. But that's the difference. Like the online scalper stuff, those are most of those stuff are luxury items. When it comes to like when guys do that type of stuff with price gouging and stuff like that, I'm against that, because everyone has to try to survive especially during hurricane season and stuff like that.
So let me ask you this question: Would you consider lumber items, tools? Would you put that in the luxury category?
It depends on what.
No. It depends on
what's it for. Like what are you talking about? This actual lumber, or are you talking about, like, if you're talking about like plywood?
Yeah, like
plywood. Yes, I would put that in the category of necessary items.
Okay.
Especially during a hurricane. If you're just buying lumber just to buy lumber, then to me that's a luxury item. If you're just buying lumber just to buy lumber, but if you're buying lumber for protection for hurricanes and stuff like that, then I'm fine. That those are items that are necessary items. Technically, it is technically still a luxury item, but if there's a shortage, because you have to buy plywood based on the amount of windows you have in your house. If you have, let's say if you have 6 windows in your house, why would you buy 12 items of plywood? most people are probably going to try to resell them.
Yes.
That's wrong, and that's wrong.
Oh, that's wrong.
In my opinion, that's wrong.
Okay.
Especially
Okay.
especially if you're going to double and triple the price.
Oh,
That's
okay. But you continue to say that it's perfectly fine to do that with, you know, with consoles or
yeah,
toys
because
because they're not.
those are luxury items.
But okay, but wouldn't you say that, especially during holiday season, that well, I don't want to say that it's a need. It's still not a need,
No, it's not a
but
need.
but everybody, that everybody's trying to get one, especially during holiday season.
Understood.
Everybody's trying to get one. So like,
Understood.
why what like? But you still perfectly fine, especially in the holidays, for scalpers to happen.
No, look, I don't
For
like.
scalping to happen.
It doesn't matter either way. But like, it's not the same. It's not the same situation as what I described when it comes to like hurricane
No,
preparation.
granted. Yeah, understood.
Yeah, it's not the same. Like, so when it comes to like the scalpers, like, look, if they ban it tomorrow, then I'm fine. But I don't have the same energy for that I do for hurricane preparation because hurricane preparation is vital for survival.
True.
It's right, and there's nothing vital about owning a PS5 right now. At least unless you want to play. But even still, that's not vital for living life. That's not vital for survival.
No, it's not. It's not. That's very true. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people would say, especially when we were in the pandemic, that it was probably something that people needed to have,
I
especially
mean,
when you couldn't go anywhere. Like when you just basically couldn't go anywhere, you was basically confined in your own home. You, like people felt that entertainment was the best option. But look, you have to remember a lot. Think about this, right? Now I'm probably thinking too deep when it comes to situations like this, but a lot of people felt a lot of anxiety. People were stressing out, seeing their kids home all the time. The relationship problems, all of that because everybody was just stuck at the house. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people needed some form of entertainment, which is gaming, which is one of the main priorities. Now, and look, you could mention novels, comics, and all the other stuff, board games. You could mention all those. You could include all of those things in there. But when it comes to and just plain entertainment, a lot of people felt that was a need to relieve all the stress and anxiety that they were receiving because of the pandemic. So doesn't that count?
no, it doesn't count because there's no shortage on entertainment. There's no shortage. Like again, like if you can't find a console, I mean that sucks for you. But there's other forms of entertainment out there. What my thing has always been about hurricane preparation and there's possible shortage that can happen by having one person, pretty much buy up all the resources.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right, let's finish this up. Um, so at the time, families should be able to spend time with their loved ones. Digital Grinch bots are forcing Americans to score online sites in the hopes of finding new affordable gifts or paying exorbitant prices for a single toy. Tonko said in a statement. Okay, I wanted to also address this also because earlier we discussed about the guy who was trying to purchase a whole bunch of sanitizers and toilet paper, and
Hmm.
he was not able to sell them.
Hmm.
Now that is 100% fact. So clearly, now you're gonna disagree with me, but clearly, Amazon, eBay, whoever, um, um, offer up, they have the power to stop the people. They have the power to stop
You
scalping.
think
They
so?
do
You
because
think so?
Amazon did it with that guy.
No, I thought it was police that did that. I thought it was the local police that did that to him.
Are you sure?
That's what I remember.
Because didn't wasn't it that he wasn't able to sell those items online?
No, 'cause I think what happened was let me look this up real quick
Yeah, because I don't want to send wrong information on the podcast.
because I remember seeing a screenshot of him in with a truck full of the hand sanitizer that he bought, and I do remember. Yeah, I'll look this up.
Yeah, look it up. Yeah, look it up, and And yeah, because I thought, because if what I'm saying is true, like, we're gonna look it up. But if what I'm saying is true, then clearly all of these companies have the power to stop scalping now. If that's the case, like, they all have the power to stop them, but they don't want to, because I'm pretty sure it's because at the end of the day, they get their cut, and screw the consumer.
All right, I'm gonna screen share this right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Screen share. Let me get out of here, and let me look at your. Um, I'll just reshare it later. Let me go back to StreamYard. Stop share screen.
All right, you see it?
Not yet. Let me see. Um, Let me get out of here. Let me get out of here first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this dipshit. Okay, all right. So you were
Wait,
so.
wait, what? Why?
Mhm.
Why did you say that?
No, you can call him a dipshit. That's because that's who he is. All
Oh,
right, so
go ahead.
all right. So so technically, yeah, you were right. Like, I even looked at the thing right here. You can see the highlighted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazon cracked down on coronavirus price gouging. Now, while the rest of the world searches, some sellers are holding stockpiles of sanitizer and masks. So let me go further down.
All right. Yeah. This is interesting right here,
So
because
this
I knew that was the case. Go ahead. Go ahead. My
like
bad.
an Amazon merchant, Matt Calvin, with an overflow stock of cleaning and sanitizing supplies in his garage in Hickson, Tennessee. Yeah, that's the guy right there, the dipshit right here. We'll just call him dipshit. On March
Yeah, my God, so mean spirited.
on March 1st, the day after the first coronavirus death in the United States was announced, brothers Matt and Noah Calvin set out in a silver USV to pick up some hand sanitizer. Driving around Chattanooga, Tennessee, they hit a Dollar Tree and then a Walmart, a Staples, and a Home Depot. At each store, they cleaned out the shelves. Over the next 3 days, Noah Calvin took a 1,000 1,300 mile road trip across Tennessee and into Kentucky, filling a U-Haul truck with thousands of bottles of hand sanitizer and thousands of packs of anti bacterial wipes, mostly from little hole in the wall dollar stores in the backwoods. His brother said
Mm-hmm.
the major metro areas were cleaned out. Matt Calvin stayed home near Chattanooga, preparing for pallets of even more wipes and sanitizers he had ordered and started to list them on Amazon. Mr. Calvin said that he had posted 300 bottles of hand sanitizer and immediately sold them all for between $8 and $70 each. Mul- multiple multiple higher than what he had bought them for. To him, it was crazy money. Too many others, it was profiteering from a pandemic. The next day, Amazon pulled his items and thousands of other listings for sanitizer, wipes, and face masks. The company suspended some of the sellers behind the listing and warned many others that if they kept running up prices, they lose their accounts. eBay soon followed with an even stricter measure prohibiting any U.S. sales of masks or sanitizer. I think so based on that, it seems to me that he it seemed to me that he got in trouble because I think he got in trouble because they were price gouging. Not because they bought like so many items. Like I think they did it because they were price gouging.
Wait, because it was of so it has nothing to do with with the items.
No, with the whole bunch of I know. No, I think what happened was that they were price gouging. That's why it did what they did.
Well, you could say the same thing currently, with the PS5 and Xbox right now.
Yeah, but like I said, I think the reason why they found it necessary to do it in that case is because all those items, or especially during that time, were necessary items. If someone's gonna sell you a PS5 for like $1,000, That's not. That's a luxury item. They look at it. They look at it the same way that I look at it, as a luxury item.
As a luxury item.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah. Well.
So that I think that's why I think that's why that happened. Let me read more. Let me read more into this.
All right.
Now, while millions of people across the country search in vain for hand sanitizer to protect themselves from the spread of the coronavirus, Mr. Calvin is sitting on 17. Uh, uh,
17,700.
yeah, I always get these things mixed up. Bottles of the stuff with little idea where to sell them. There's been a huge amount of whiplash, he said, from being in a situation where what I've got coming and going could potentially put my family in a really good place financially, to where the heck am I going to do with all of this? Dipshit. Anyways, Mr. Calvin is one of probably thousands of sellers who have amassed stockpiles of hand sanitizer and critical respiratory masks that many hospitals are now rationing. According to interviews with 8 Amazon sellers and posts in private Facebook and Telegram groups from dozens more, Amazon said it had recently removed hundreds of thousands of listings and suspended thousands of sellers' accounts for price gouging related to coronavirus. And Amazon, eBay, Walmart, and other online commerce platforms are trying to stop their sellers from making extensive profits from a public
Excessive.
health crisis. My bad. Excessive profits from a public health crisis, while the companies aim to discourage people from hoarding such products and jacking up their prices. Many sellers are already cleared out their local stores and started selling the goods online. I think that's it. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. That's a
uh,
lot. There's a lot here, but
oh,
but yeah. But they did that because of price gouging.
okay. Do you believe that they should have that this should happen now regarding with lumber, PS5, and all this other stuff? Should Amazon, eBay step in and should have stopped this a long time ago, in your opinion?
All right, before I answer, let me say what's up to Malta. Shout out to you, Malta. Right now we're
Yo,
talking about
Malta was up.
yeah. Right now we're talking about online legislation. Right now, like the online bot. The stuff that happens when you try to buy something online, but they got bots that are pretty much taking over. That's where we're at right now. It has a lot to do with PS5. PS5s. People looking for PS5s and stuff like that. So the answer to your question, Steve. Do I think no? No, I don't think the same thing should happen to. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, those are
Well, I
luxury
mean,
items.
okay, but again, we just read the article. We just read it.
Yeah,
They absolutely have the power to stop these people from scalping. Like, we don't have to wait for legislation. We don't. They obviously have the power to tell these people,
but
yo,
no, they didn't.
stop price
Wait,
gouging these.
yeah. The price gouging and scalping are not the same thing.
Yeah, but
Scalping is.
they're price gouging though.
I mean, yeah, they are price gouging for the, but the reason why that was a big deal because like I said, there's a big difference between health items and luxury items. There's a big difference, and like I said, it's not. They're not going to treat it the same way. The reason why those guys got effed over was because they were price gouging. That's why they got effed over because they were price gouging.
Yeah, you're technically doing the same thing. They're technically doing the same thing with the PS5 and the Xbox right now.
Yeah, you're right. But like I said, I think the difference is that you have one that's a necessary item and one's a luxury item. I think that's why.
Okay, but at the okay, but you said in the article that it wasn't because if it was a necessity. It was because they were just price gouging.
No,
That's it, to make
because
profit.
they're price gouging in the middle of a public health crisis. That's why they did it for.
It didn't say that. It didn't say
No,
all the other
it did
stuff.
say that. It did say that in the article.
Okay, I must have missed it, but I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, like
I
there's
didn't
no,
hear that part.
and again, there's no crisis that there's no crisis available where you need to have a PS5. That's the difference.
Okay, so at the end of the day, you believe that what they did with those items, you don't think they should give the same treatment to the people who are selling the PS5? They should leave let them be. Let them do what they want.
No, I mean if their law if I would prefer the laws to handle it than I would Amazon or Walmart. I would let the law do that because like you said like you because look Amazon could put they can act like heroes all they want. If people are buying something online, then they don't really have a reason why they should stop them unless there was something shady going on. And obviously, in this case, there was something shady going on because you had a bunch of people who were trying to price gouge, you know, right, trying to, actual goods that people needed, especially people who needed it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, like when it comes to the scalping of the consoles, they're going to take, they're like when it comes to that, if they take care of it, then everything will be fine. Like these senators have passed bills like that before, and hopefully they don't get. I'm wondering if they're gonna get interference from Amazon in them because, like I said, like Amazon's fine. Like at the end of the day, like I don't think Amazon really cares about. I mean, maybe Walmart cares, but like at the end of the day, all really Walmart cares about is just hey, selling the stuff.
Well, the same thing goes for for Sony and Microsoft. Like they don't care. Why do you think they haven't done anything to stop this? They're not doing anything.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, they're not they're not doing anything. But the thing is, as we all know, when it comes to I really do hope this thing passes,
Hmm.
but it is going to take a long time because you obviously know that when it comes to making the bill and making it into law, it has to go through the House, it has to go to Congress, and then it has to go to the president. Like it's a long process. It's a long process. So this is not. People were like was celebrating about it when I was in social media, but this is not going to become to law, not for a while.
But
Like,
look, but they do have a track record of passing laws like this, so that's an encouraging sign.
yeah.
Hopefully they can get it done quickly. And hopefully things could get better.
Oh shoot. Okay, let me read this real quick. It says other countries have been attempting to stop scalping in recent years. A bill called Gaming Hardware Automated Purchase and Resale Bill was brought forward to the UK Parliament earlier this year, but it's not yet clear whether it will become law. A petition highlighted the issue on the UK Parliament website also received over 15,000 signatures, thus triggering a response from the government Department for Business, Energy, and Industrial Strategy. Now,
Yeah,
okay, have it know. Okay, so clearly it's not just us doing the complaining.
yeah.
Everybody throughout the world is complaining about this.
When it comes to the government over in Europe, they've been a lot more forward when it comes to like these type of things, and they've also been trying to tackle the way that the gaming industry does their practices with some of the stuff that they've done when it comes to loot boxes and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, the whole loot box stuff, that all that stuff is a scam.
Yeah. So they and
All
they,
that.
they yeah, and I don't know if it's necessarily the UK government, but in Europe they've been trying to tackle this type of stuff also. Like they've been at the forefront of this type of stuff, trying to stop this type of action of people either they're trying to circumvent the rules and companies trying to circumvent their laws.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so at the end of the day, I believe this is actually a good thing, to stop these, because if people are going to be doing this with toys, action figures, consoles, and lumber, and they don't be surprised if they start doing this with everything else. Like we already saw the guy try to attempt doing it with hand sanitizers and toilet paper and masks. So I think this is it's actually a good thing.
yeah,
Now,
people are going to try to do this when it comes to items that are in high demand.
yes.
And I'm telling you this right now. The minute the PlayStation 5s are available and Xboxes are available in the store, readily available, then the demand will go down when it comes to the online scalpers and stuff like that. It'll go down. So,
Yeah,
hey,
but Sony's taking forever to bring them to retail stores anyway.
yeah. Yeah.
They're taking far too long. Because like I said in the last podcast that we did, you can't use the pandemic as an excuse anymore. Why aren't these in retail stores?
I think they still are. I mean, like I said, we may I know that the pandemic isn't where it was a while ago, but like I said, you're always gonna deal with you have new variants and stuff like that, and like I said, we still don't know what's going on in China. They're it might be a while before we get to any type of real normalcy if
Yeah.
we ever get there.
All right. So this one last part, and then we'll move on. It says in Japan, retailers are taking matters in their own hands. Good. Hopefully, the U.S. is going to do the same thing, with some taking action by marketing or destroying sold consoles packaging. That's my Japanese retail chain. Uh, all right, you help me out here.
Let me read it.
The one that's highlighted.
Nojima Denkai.
Denkai or Denki?
I think it's Denkai.
Okay. Implemented a new policy designed to combat resellers, which saw it write the buyer's name on the side of the PlayStation 5 boxes, as well as destroying the packaging for the control for the controller. PlayStation 5 supply looks set to be even tighter than previously expected over the coming months after Sony reportedly cuts its production plans by around 1 million consoles. They cut its production plans. Like,
Hmm.
okay. Sony claimed in July that PS5 had become faster selling consoles ever after topping 10 million sales globally just under a month faster than the PS4 had managed. However, it has since fallen behind the sales pace to its predecessor, partly due to supply constraints. Okay, so we all right. Yeah, I think there's more, but no. Okay, that's it. All right. So at the end of the day, I think this is that this is a good thing that they're going to at least try to stop scalpers from using bots.
Hmm.
And I guarantee you a lot of people are going to complain and use we should have the freedom to do what we want with our own merchandise. I guarantee people are going to say that. I guarantee it.
Uh, they can say whatever the hell they want. Like at the end of the day, like if like at the end of the day, you have to the job of the job of government is to protect your citizens from bullshit, right? And no, it's true. Like it's true.
Okay,
At
okay,
least,
no.
that's what it should be. At least that's what it should be. And listen, I even though I don't have a look, even though I don't have a problem with scalpers, at least in this case, like it's bullshit. Like it's complete bullshit that you have customers who have to deal with the bullshit that they dealt with when it comes to having to find a console, having to they're waiting for hours. They have to wake up early in the morning because they heard that they'll have like shipments of PS5, and then the minute you go on the website they're all gone. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to protect your consumers. You have to protect consumers, and if a bill is what's gonna end up doing that, then that's fine. Then that's perfectly fine.
Well, yeah, like for me, a lot of I've been hearing these idiots, on here. Yeah, I'll just play this real quick. I heard these idiots on here saying, "Oh, they should have fixed this a long time ago," which what I agree with. But then they
Mhm.
start saying stupid stuff about, "Oh, there should have been an executive order." Like get the hell out of here. Like, look, even if Biden decided to do an executive order about this,
Mhm.
that's only a temporary fix. You know what I'm saying? Like, in order for this to be permanent, it has to go through legislation. It has to, because if you make an executive order out of this, because look, like I said before, like I said before, I'm pretty sure all the politicians are being affected by this too. I guarantee they have to deal with people, with bots and all the other crap that we have to deal with,
Mhm.
regardless if you have money or not. Even
And,
if
and, and isn't executive orders meant to do something that's like more substantial than this?
exactly. Exactly. Like Biden's not going to care about putting an executive order over scalpers. Like get the
No,
hell out of here, man.
no. I mean, he has. If he wants a PS5, he can get a PS5.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
He will be fine. All these governors, they'll be fine. But don't sit here and put down that we need an executive order. We have a legislation branch for a reason, to pass laws, to help us in this country. Like we already have that. But don't sit here and act stupid saying we need an executive order to stop scalpers. Now look, I understand that it's affecting the economy. Like the points that they brought up was that it's affecting the economy, it affecting people's livelihoods, because we're not just talking about consoles. You know what I'm saying? We're not just talking about consoles. We talk about just about anything that you want. Because look, Jordans, I know what you're going to say, that's also a luxury to some degree, but look, we need shoes. Like we could get any shoe that we want, but I would probably put Jordans in the same category as with clothing. Like we need that stuff. That is a need, in my opinion. Now you might disagree with me, but I think that is a need.
Shoes are a need, but Jordans are not.
Okay, but it still falls on the shoes. You still need shoes.
Yeah, that's fine. But if you need shoes, you can buy shoes anywhere.
I get that, but I don't think you can isolate it like that. I don't think you can. But anyway, but yeah. So I believe that that what they're doing is the right thing. Is it somewhat interfering with people's lives? Yes, but at the end of the day, this scalper stuff, that all these scalping, it needs to stop. It's I think if you go to the store, the usually the staff would prevent you from buying 5 or 10 or 15 consoles. You know what I'm saying? Like they would actually prevent you, because I see that in even in grocery stores where they would say,
yeah, I mean, for grocery stores, yes. For grocery stores, yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But when for like items like PS5s and PS4s, I don't know.
Well,
unless the thing was in high demand, then maybe they would have a thought of there's people who want to buy it, we have to be careful. You know what I'm saying? I think if I went to Walmart right now and wanted to buy every PS4 controller that they have there, I don't think they're gonna stop me.
They should stop you. Absolutely, they should stop you. Now, granted, I understand, they're going to make money off of you.
Yeah,
they're going to make money off of you, but you know what? You're probably right, because I see that majority of the time when it comes to grocery stores. But I think when you go to like a Best Buy or a Target, I don't think they're going to stop you from buying 10 PlayStations and 10 Xboxes and 10 Switches. Like I don't think they're going to stop you, but they have the power to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to say, per customer, you can only buy maybe like 2 or 3. Like they have the power to do it. And I don't really necessarily think that it would be wrong if Amazon comes in and interferes. But like you said, it's because it's not a need. They're not going to. But that is proof though that they do have the power to do it. That they have the power to do it. But
if it has to do with price gouging.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it has to do with price gouging on if it has price gouging based on necessary items, I think with luxury items, I don't think they care as much.
Right. Okay.
But like I said, like I think any company can do it, can stop it if they want to, but if they did stop it, and let's say Walmart doesn't do it, right, or if eBay doesn't do it, then they're going to lose business.
True.
Because of it.
Yeah.
They're going to lose business because of it. So
very good point. Very good.
So the reason why it's better to have it legislated is so that everyone has to be in lockstep with each other. So it's so that it's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, before we go to the next topic, Brendan Scheller said, "You keep at it, Hoobie. Steve, I gotta go back to work." So shout out to Brendan Scheller. He's been we've known this dude since high school, so he's one of our high school friends. So
we know him for quite some time. So I appreciate you so much. Appreciate for the support.
Yeah. So all right. So last topic of the day is actually going to be based on a video I made yesterday on my personal channel. Right.
You gonna share it?
Yeah, I'm gonna share the. I'm gonna share the article and then I'm gonna share the gameplay.
Oh, and before we continue, one last thing. You said you don't care either way if the law passes or not, right? You said you don't.
Yeah, because for me, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't affect me because I buy my consoles on I buy my consoles in store. But if it does, but I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna be offended if it this passes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not something that I'm gonna be upset about if it passes. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay.
All right.
So all right. So I'm gonna get the article here. Let me share it. Doo-doo-doo. All right. All right. We're good. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. So I
I can hear folks in the background.
yeah my bad. Yeah. So I hear so like yesterday I made the video.
Okay.
And this is from the guy who broke the news was Jason Schreier. He's the best he is the best journalist in gaming today. Um and this is from his article, right? Now, Sony Group Corp PlayStation division is planning a new subscription service to compete with Microsoft Game Pass.
Yep.
According to people familiar with Sony's plans and documents reviewed by Bloomberg. The service codenamed Spartacus will allow PlayStation owners to pay a monthly fee for access to a catalog of modern and classic games, said the people who asked not to be identified because they weren't authorized to speak to the press about the plans. The offering will likely be available on the smash hit PlayStation 4, which has sold more than 116 million units, and its elusive successor, the PS5, which launched more than a year ago, but is still difficult to buy due to supply chain issues. Right. When it launches, expected in spring, the service will merge Sony's two existing subscription plans, PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now. Currently, PlayStation Plus is required for most online multiplayer games and offers free monthly titles, while PlayStation Now allows users to stream or download older games. Documents reviewed by Bloomberg suggest that Sony plans to retain the PlayStation Plus branding but phase out PlayStation Now.
Hmm.
So, details on Spartacus may still not be finalized, but a documentation reviewed by Bloomberg outlines a service with three tiers. The first would include existing PlayStation Plus benefits. The second would offer a large catalog of PS4 and eventually PS5 games. The third tier would add extended demos, game streaming, and a library of classic PS1, PS2, PS3, and PSP games. A representative for PlayStation didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. Although the PlayStation has outsold the Xbox in recent years, Sony has lagged behind Microsoft on the subscription front. With
Hmm.
this new structure, Sony will look to compete with an Xbox feature that has been popular and lucrative. Microsoft Game Pass, which is often dubbed as the Netflix of gaming, is more than 8 million subscribers. Has more than 8 million subscribers. It allows users to pay 10 to 15 a month for unlimited access to several hundred games. Xbox has built its overall strategy around the service in recent years, putting all of its internal published games on Game Pass as soon as they're released. Xbox has also made big acquisitions such as Bethesda Softworks last year for 7.5 billion with with the goal of bolstering the Game Pass library. Sony is also putting resources into expanding its efforts in cloud gaming. The people familiar with the plan said Microsoft X Cloud game streaming service became widely available earlier this year. Anything else to it? No, there's nothing else to it. Yeah. So I talked about this yesterday. Like I said, let me go to the let me stop sharing this and then I'll go to the video that I made.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, I made a video on this yesterday, and while like I said, if you want to watch it, it is available.
I'm gonna watch it after the podcast. Oh, by the way, Malta said the damn notification bell doesn't work. I didn't get notified of the stream. Like, you know something, Malta. Every time when Hoovy 86 makes a video, I don't get a notification either. Now I know you're probably talking about the podcast, but I don't get a notification from anybody who I'm subscribed to. So I
I
don't
I,
know.
I get them late. I get them late, so they don't. Yeah, so they don't work.
Okay, so you get them late.
Yeah, I
Mm.
get them late.
All right, Devil Shooter, if you're still there, like, do you get notifications? I don't know if you're still there or not, but do you get notifications from the bell, whoever you're subscribed to? Because it doesn't work for me.
You telling me?
Well, I was asking Devil Shooter, does he get notifications? Now, regarding you having, you said that you get them late, like after the streaming is over.
Yeah, pretty much.
So then that's useless then. So,
Sometimes I get them. Sometimes I don't. But like they don't work. They've been lagging in that area for years.
you talk about a company that's making billions of dollars and they can't get that
And
fixed.
they, and all they've done since they took over YouTube has made it worse year in and year out. That's all
Oh,
they've done.
you're talking about Google.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
they've done was make it worse.
Yep.
But that's a different story. Now, my opinion on this is that it did seem to be inevitable that they were going to combine Plus and Now, which I'm fine with. To me, what this all is one, they are competing with Game Pass. Now
Absolutely.
there was an article that said that this is more of a rebranding than it is like a competitor to Game Pass. But to me, if you're competing for the same dollars, you're competing.
Yes.
You're competing.
Agreed.
So they don't have to be the same thing in order for it to be competition. Because according to what Jason Schreier said, that this is not going to be they're not going to put the reason why Game Pass has been successful in my opinion has because they put their exclusives on that service day one. He said that Sony's not going to do that, at least that's not the plan. I do eventually believe that this will be their goal is to put their games day one on here. I do
You
think they will.
you believe so
Hmm.
that they'll put it, day one. I mean, if
I do. Yeah, I do.
what sense does it make to wait? Just do it now.
I think they want to wait till I think I still think they want to wait because, like I said, they have because the funny thing is that I do believe that this code name Spartacus has a lot. I think it has something to do with God of War because God of War is supposed to come out around that same time that
Hmm.
this service is supposed to come out. So I believe that as a I don't know if they'll offer God of War for free. I don't think they will, but I would definitely look out for that. I didn't mention that in the video, but I will look out for that.
Okay, so now, like you said, they're obviously competing, with Game Pass. In my opinion,
Hmm.
that do now, but did the article explain that, um if you let's say you get tier 3, you have access for the tier 1 and tier 2, correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's common sense. Yeah, that's common
Okay,
sense.
now, but they didn't explain if all the games, because they mentioned PS1, PS2. Did they mention PS3 games? I think they
Yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
Okay,
you
but,
have
but let me also say this: when it comes to PS3 games, right? Those games can only be streamed. Okay,
PS3
fix
games.
that. Yeah, fix that first, and then I, uh, I they need to fix that because those are the vast majority of games on there. PS3 games. Those are the vast majority of games on there.
Hmm.
So unless in streaming those PS3 games are going to be a pain in the ass. Even with a great internet connection, those are a pain in the ass to do.
Really?
Yeah,
Even if it's wired?
even if it's wired, because like a lot some of those PS3 games don't age. I wouldn't say necessarily age well, but like you have games on other platforms that ran the game better on the hardware than the PS3 did. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, shit.
remember PS3, like when it comes to 360 PS3, 360 normally played those games better. And also, and it doesn't. And even though I criticize Microsoft for ending their fake backward compatibility program, at the end of the day, they had one, and those programs made those games run better. And PlayStation Now in its current form don't do that.
Yeah. Now with PlayStation Now, because obviously you have the console, you're the expert here. I'm
Mhm.
just the layman. But if you have because you have PlayStation Now, right?
No, no, no. I've used it, but I don't have it.
You have PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Okay, but PlayStation Now allows you to play PS1 and PS2 games,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't. That's not what you want. You don't care about that.
No, my problem is that why are you putting it in the third tier? Why? Because the third tier is probably going to be the most expensive tier, and you're telling me that you're going to charge me, a money to a lot of money to play old games that are probably not going to be improved over the original, and knowing damn well that with all the issues that Microsoft had, when all the issues that Microsoft had, as opposed to getting their games, getting all their backwards compatibility games on there, there's a reason why they stopped. Because getting the licenses for those old games are a pain in the ass, and it's going to be worse on the PlayStation because, like I said, they have PS1 games that have a ton of stuff on there, for like advertisements from companies and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's gonna be. It's going to. They're not going to succeed in this.
Yeah,
They're not
because
going to.
I did hear that they stopped their whole backwards compatibility because of because of licensing issues with the games.
With Microsoft, yeah, they did,
Yeah, that
and
kind of
Sony's gonna deal with the same problem.
yeah, because basically what you oh man, dude, that oh my gosh, like this only happens with games like this. You don't have this issue with any other
Oh, you no, 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 you deal with this with movies too.
I don't
Especially
think so.
when it comes to streaming. Yeah, didn't I read something where there was a couple of Marvel movies that were removed. I think it was the Fantastic Four movies were removed or something like that.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. I talked about that in the in the last podcast, which is why I said how much I love physical copies over digital because you have no control when it comes to digital
But yeah,
copies.
but this is all digital. Everything that we're dealing with is digital, and
Yeah, yeah,
a lot of the same issues that you deal with movies, you're gonna deal with this service. Especially if they're gonna hang their hat on old games being part of the third tier, like it's going to be a failure. It's going to be a failure.
yeah.
Like,
But I think
go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, but I think a lot of people are still demanding to play old games because
I
even
don't.
you said
I personally don't think it's that much. I really do. I think that's over. I think that's overstated.
even you said how nostalgia plays a huge role in the gaming industry. Because look, I mentioned this before. People still like watching old movies. People still like listening to old music, and people still like to read old novels. People still want to play old games. I mean, it all falls in the same umbrella when it comes to nostalgia.
I think that stuff is overstated. I think there's a lot of people who are capping right now because of what Microsoft has done, and I give Microsoft props. Like Malta, he put on the chat. He rather play Xbox than PlayStation, and like a lot of it has to do with the fact that they successfully got people into playing old Xbox and Xbox 360 games.
All right, so then that means it does matter. Like I said,
I mean,
it's not
I,
overstated.
I think it, no, I think it is overstated because at the end of the day, I'm not buying a new console to play old shit. At least I'm not doing that. Like
Yeah.
if I'm gonna buy a console, you need to have a good first party library. I will always believe in that.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But when it came to Microsoft, frankly, before they bought Bethesda, they couldn't compete with Sony in that regard. That's a fact. They couldn't compete with Sony in that regard.
Well,
So
yeah,
what?
yeah, that's true.
So what they decided to do was okay. First off, we're gonna hinge our hat on Game Pass, right? We're gonna hinge our hat on Game Pass. We're gonna buy Bethesda so we can bolster up that library, which is a smart thing to do. And we're not going to compete with Sony head on when it came to exclusives because they can't. So that's why they went with the Game Pass thing, right? They went with Game Pass. Then they, like they got all their exclusives gonna be on Game Pass. Even if the game's not great, at least you don't. At least if you have Game Pass, then you can play the game.
Yeah, but
With PlayStation, you have to pay 60, and with PS5, you have to pay $70 to play those games.
yeah, $60-$70. Yeah. Well, I mean, you still got to pay that amount, if you want the physical copy for the Xbox anyway.
Yeah, but like you said, Microsoft goal is Game Pass, all digital on Game Pass. That's what they want.
Yeah, and look, we mentioned this in the last podcast. That's how they won, with the whole Black Friday. They had the huge momentum because of Game Pass. But the thing is, but for me, if you are going to give a subscription service, I believe it should be the exact same way how the movies do it. You have access to all the games from PS1, PS2, PS3. You should have access to all of their games, all of them, not just the exclusive. You should have access to all of them. And if they can't figure it out, regarding to licensing issues, then the service is useless. Because not everybody just want to play exclusive PlayStation games.
That's
People,
another thing you have to do it because these companies are they going to be as successful as Game Pass is, they how many new third party games are going to be on there? Not a lot. Not a whole lot. At least not right now. Not a lot.
mm-hmm.
So Xbox dudes who sit there and act like, oh, I get to play my games, essentially for free. They still have to buy third party games.
Let me respond to that. Let me see what Malta said. People that are into old media is normally music and movies. Now, I don't know if I 100% agree with that because even when it comes to old TV shows like I still watch Fresh Prince and Martin and Family Matters till this day.
Yeah, but
And
we're talking about like DVD. I think he's referring to DVDs and stuff like that.
DVD
Blu-ray, DVD.
movies.
Yeah, that's what
Um
he's referring to.
well but even if I think I still believe nostalgia still plays a huge role because a lot of people even like look at the tournaments that still currently that currently happen even now. We still have Smash Brothers Melee tournaments. We still have Street Fighter 2 tournaments. We still have Mortal Kombat tournaments. Like all these are old games, and people are still playing them till this day, and people are still trying to get better at these games. Like it's a huge community when it comes to some of these games. You know what I'm saying? And people are still trying to make mods of Mario games and trying to make the Mario games more difficult. Like a lot of these things matter in my opinion. Hold on, he said something else. Traditionalists said people still want to listen to old music, watch old movies, and play old games. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Yes. So I don't know if he's going to respond to that, but yeah, I believe old games still goes into that same category. Nostalgia still matters. Like I know you still watch old movies and you play old games.
Yeah, but I don't buy DVDs. Like I don't buy DVDs. And I remember saying this when I was younger, when all the streaming music sites where all the streaming music stuff was going on, that I was still going to download music independently. Now I have SoundCloud and I have Apple Music, and I pay for both.
Oh,
And
you
I
can pay both of
and
them.
yeah, I pay for both because why? Because one, it saves storage space on my phone, and two, is more convenient. It's more convenient. Like I don't buy CDs anymore. CDs are obsolete.
Well,
Like
music CDs, yes, but but
yeah,
but
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 that that
but,
that,
but,
that,
but
that
DVDs
that's
no.
physical media.
Yeah, but buying old movies or new movies, or let's say you go to Best Buy or you go to Walmart and you see that whole $5 big pile of DVD movies. I think people still consider that what's the word I'm looking for? Like I okay, let me just use myself as an example. Like I said this before. When it comes to buying old games, or old movies or new movies for that matter, I don't just go to Disney Plus so I could watch the new movie. I buy them.
I
I buy
personally,
them.
I rather go on Disney Plus.
No, no. Like I'd rather have the physical copy because for one, I don't want to have to deal with you know streaming services removing movies and removing video games, despite the fact that I'm paying a subscription and yet I don't have access to certain games and to certain movies. No, I'm not for that. I'll never be for that ever.
No, look, I understand what you're saying. Like, let me read Malta's thing real quick. I think that's a huge factor of gamers mostly care about graphics, so they automatically dismiss old games. I agree with him on that. I agree with him on that. Like again, like I like look at GTA for example, right? The only reason why I wanted to play that game was because of the control options that they were gonna have, the improving the controls.
Hmm.
Like I don't have to graphics I can deal with graphics. Like I don't care. Graphics I don't need high end graphics. But I've been gaming forever. We both been gaming forever. Kids nowadays they care about that stuff. They care about that stuff. When it comes to but the reason why I wanted to play the game was because they reworked the controls. They reworked the controls. They had to, because those controls don't hold up. They don't hold up. And the same, and you remember when I don't know if I remember telling you this, but you remember I told you that I was thinking about buying a PS2 again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I stopped because then I was thinking, you know what, the control. I don't know if the controller is gonna be good. Am I gonna be able to find a good controller? Wired controller. I don't know. And then the memory card, and yeah. I just after all that stuff, thinking I'm like, no, I'm good, man. And trust me, I prefer what we had back then than we do now. I prefer that. But there's certain things that are better now than they were back then. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? All right, let me continue reading. Hold on. All right. Then he said, plus every generation attention span gets shorter and shorter. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, it may get shorter and shorter, but I don't necessarily think that would relate to playing old games or watching old movies though.
No,
I
I
don't I,
guess.
I don't
I
I
guess.
don't I don't I don't think that would I don't think there's a link between the two.
But if you're going to sell, this is why I always say that concentrating on nostalgia to me is to me is off putting, because like you said, the attention spans are gonna get shorter and shorter. People are gonna want to play the hot new shit. They're gonna want to play the hot new thing. They're gonna
Mhm.
a lot of kids are gonna want to play the Fortnites and stuff like that. And when you have these old games that where you have to wait for a game to load and stuff like that, like people don't want to wait like that no more. Especially
Yeah,
when everything is geared towards right now, right now, right now. Let's see. And
yeah,
then
that's true. But if what you and Malta saying is 100% accurate, and even let's say a developer or a publisher could affirm it, it wouldn't make any sense for them to make all of these collection games like the Grand Theft Auto game that you bought, or the Metal Gear collection that I bought, or the Resident Evil. I think they're making a Resident Evil collection. Like they're
well,
all old games.
okay, that's fine, but but my thing is that you can sell nostalgia if you want, but to me, my problem is that people are buying consoles because of nostalgia,
That's a
and to me,
problem.
yeah, that's a problem. Like what? Concentrate on making new shit, make new games.
No. I disagree with that because otherwise, what would be the purpose of having a PlayStation Classic or a Super Nintendo Classic? What would be the
You can
purpose
look,
then?
you can make those. That's fine.
Yeah, and they play old games.
Okay, that's fine, Steve. But
Okay.
at the end of the day, I want the company to concentrate on new games. That's why I want them to concentrate on new stuff. Cause I already paid for your old stuff. I don't want to repay for your old stuff. I want to pay for new stuff. Let me see. Oh wait. Okay, this is from Malta. Definitely a lot of people who are curious and try an NES game or something die 2 or 3 times at the very beginning of the game and they turn it off and never play it again. That could be true. He also
Mhm.
said, "We have Netflix now. If you don't like a TV show, you change it." That's true as well. We have Spotify now. If you don't like a song, you change the artist. That's true as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
We have Game Pass now, and if you don't like a game, what do you do? I don't know if he answered his own question, but yeah, you just change the game, or you just if you don't want to play, it, you don't have to play it.
Yeah.
Let me stop this. Let me stop sharing. Yeah,
Oh, I was actually enjoying the gameplay, but okay.
no, it's finished. It's finished.
Oh, okay.
Like like he said, if you wanna buy a console for nostalgia, why not buy the console you're nostalgic about? I agree. If you really want it, to me, if you want to experience what those classic consoles and games are, then you're better off just buying it or doing emulation. That's why I'm 100% against what Nintendo stance is on emulation, because at the end of the day, like, you're not remaking these games. At least a lot of these games you're not remaking, and there's definitely going to be some games that are lost in history. You know what I mean? That you're not going to remake. Like, Konami's not going to re-release a basketball game that they made from the 1990s because they don't have the license for it. They don't have the license for it, and there's a bunch of old players, so they're not going to have license. They're not going to have license to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be games that are lost in history. So why is Nintendo so hell bent on trying to destroy emulation?
But even the games that are lost in history, that just reminded me about that game that you talked about in the chat, that fighting game, the
The fighter's
uh,
history.
yeah, fighters history.
Hmm.
Do you honestly believe that you're the only person that wants to try out all these old games? How many times you and I have complained about how we wish that we had the Dreamcast, or how we wish we had all the consoles that we weren't able to experience? We're not the only people that complains about that, or have a curiosity of trying to experience some of these games.
That's fine, but if Sega decided to make a console, let's say Sega decided to make a new console, they have a new team, new team making games and stuff like that. I want them to concentrate on making new games. I don't want them going back. I don't want them going backwards. You see
Okay, then
that's the biggest problem I have with Microsoft, right? When their first party offering was dog shit, they relied heavily on backwards compatibility.
which is a
That's
good.
what No, it's bad. It's bad because at the end of the day, you can play those games already. You can play those games on PC and get the same results or better when it came to the way they bragged about their backwards compatibility boosting and stuff like that, right?
Hmm.
Oh, you can play Max Payne at 60 FPS. I'm sure you can play Max Payne at 120 on PC already. I don't care about what you can give me. I don't care about making the old stuff better. You need to make new games. That's what you need to make. You need to make new shit.
Hmm.
Not try to brush up the old stuff that I already played. You know what I'm saying? And the only people who cap for Microsoft are their fanboys and these influencers. That's it. And again, like, again, I don't mind the nostalgia, but
It looks like you do. I think
no
you
no
do
no no
mind
no
it.
no 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 no. I don't mind the nostalgia, but at the end of the day, if you're making a console and you're making games for that console, I want new games. That's why I bought your console for. The reason why people buy consoles is for games. It should be for games.
Exactly.
That's my biggest issue with this generation, and that now all of a sudden it's not about the games anymore. It's all about this other superficial bullshit that had nothing to do with games. Had nothing to do with it, and
Well,
it irritates me.
well, but again, having out, you say that they should focus on new games and all this other stuff, but once again, you bought the Grand Theft Auto collection. You bought
Yeah,
it,
I did,
and those are old. Those are
but
old games,
that's
right? Those
fine.
are
But
old games.
was that the reason why I bought the PlayStation?
What happened?
Was that the reason why I bought the PlayStation?
No.
No. Again, I don't mind playing old. I love playing. I love revisiting old games. I do.
That's the point.
No, that's not the point.
That's
That's
the
not the
point.
point. That's not the point.
You're catering to two groups of people. You're catering to people who wants to experience nostalgia, right? And then there's other people who probably never got to experience those old games. You're giving them the opportunity to play them.
But you cannot. But you cannot have only the old games. That's my That's my point.
No,
You
I
can't
agree with
only
that.
have you can't only have the old games. And for the longest time, that's all Microsoft had. Hey, look at the list of games that we have backwards compatible for this month. And I see all these Xbox dudes, they're going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over this bullshit. While Crackdown comes out and it's dog shit, right? They come out with Sea of Thieves, which is dog shit, right? They come out with Bleeding Edge, which is dog shit. You know, they come out with all they come out with all their first party exclusive content has been dog shit for the latter half of that generation.
Yeah.
But what was the conversation? Oh, I get to play this game in 60 FPS now. Like that was the conversation. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, you know, I'm on the verge of selling this. The console that you have in your house, my Xbox. I was on the verge of selling it because I'm like, okay, playing these old games are nice, but where are the new games?
Okay, but it's to me it was an added bonus. Because look, I don't know not one person that would not be in favor of backwards compatibility. I don't know anybody.
No,
Now
but
like you said, it's nice.
Okay.
It's nice, but are people going to complain that the console has capable of doing backwards compatibility? Absolutely not.
No. The problem is it's fake backwards compatibility. It's fake. It's fake.
Yeah, you're gonna need to elaborate on that. But I don't know what you mean by that.
No, the PS3, the OG PS3, PS1, PS2, PS3 games. That's it. This stuff about we have to bring these we announce new backwards compatibility games every month or so. That's fake. That's not real backwards compatibility. It's fake. It's fake.
Even yeah, you're gonna have to elaborate because even Malta said what is.
We have a bunch of comments. Let me
Let's try to read them all.
Okay, shout out to Titanfall Princess.
Yeah, Titanfall Princess, what's up?
Let me see. Okay, first let me go on there. I think people are gonna get it no matter what if the price is right. That's fine. That's fine. I think. Let me see. He says, I think Nintendo has the right to feel how they want to feel, but they shouldn't sue poor innocent people. When it comes, let me address the Nintendo thing. Right. My problem with Nintendo's doing is that they're trying to eliminate emulation in general because you know obviously they want to protect their IP. I get it, but you're not releasing all those games. You're not. And if someone wants to, the only way that I was able to play some of the games that I played back in the day was through emulation. It gave me a better appreciation for gaming in general. And if you're gonna take that away from a kid who had the same curiosity of gaming and trying to figure out, you know, oh, what type of games were made back in the day? If you're gonna take that away from them, then shame on you. In my opinion, and it could be it's just my opinion, right? Like it could be just me being an old man now and just you know just being old about it. But like to me, I've always felt that the best way to experience old games is through emulation because you're playing the games exactly how they're meant to be played.
Well, yeah, but you see how you said you had you know the curiosity and then you had a much greater appreciation you know for playing you know old games, and if nostalgia was not a big deal or if playing old games was not a big deal, then we wouldn't have all this emulation and ROM stuff going on right now because we even have those you know available even in our phones. Even in our phones, I could play you know Super Nintendo games or Nintendo games on my phone.
Yeah, that's fine, Steve. But I don't need my console manufacturers concentrating solely on nostalgia.
As long as it's an added bonus, I don't see the big issue. If you are going to make me new games, that's fine. But if you are also going to include old games, or let's say if you want to make a collection, which I think is even better, because again, that Metal Gear collection that I have, that basically have almost just about every single Metal Gear game, was one of the best collections I ever purchased. One of the best collections I ever invested in. Why? Because I'm a huge Metal Gear fan.
Okay.
And if they and it,
What system did you buy that on?
I bought it. I think I bought both. I bought it for both the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox.
Okay. Here's my contention, right? My contention is not about the nostalgia part of it. It's about what you're offering your customers right now. Part of it. If your best offerings are backward compatible, okay. This was a Microsoft E3. This was a couple years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where the biggest ovation that they got from that show was the announcement of backwards compatibility. And these are the show that offered brand new games, brand new IPs. What does that tell you? What does that tell you?
I don't know.
That their current offering ain't worth shit. I don't give dude. Sony can announce tomorrow that every game PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4 backwards compatible to the PS5 now, right? And it'll get a nice ovation. But if they show off the new if they announce like a Bloodborne 2, that should get that should get the biggest ovation. Why? Because that's a new game. It's a game that's the reason why you bought the console in the first place. Being able to do all the other backwards compatible stuff, that's cool. That's nice.
It is nice.
But the main thing should be the new stuff that you bought the console for. Because I don't buy new consoles to play old games. If it can do it, that's fine. But that's not the reason why I bought the console.
Okay, yeah. See, that's the point I'm trying to make. As long as they could do it, that's fine. And I think the reason why the Xbox had the whole big innovation with backwards compatibility is because I think, if I remember correctly, because previously backwards compatibility was not existent anymore. So when they reintroduced backwards compatibility, of course they was going to get a huge ovation for it.
But why wasn't every game available from jump?
They didn't say. I believe everybody was on the assumption that we were able to play every single backwards compatibility game.
There are two reasons why. Why. One is because they wanted to, like, I don't know how they always bragged about having to make the games more improved, right?
Yeah,
making the game improve, make it up to 60 FPS and stuff like that, which I get. But at the end of the day, the reason why, one, so that they can announce it, so they can get good PR out of it. I do believe that's the reason why. That's part one. And part two, like I said, with everything going on with Spartacus, is going to be the licensing issues. You can't just release, like, backwards compatibility has always been about the physical. It's always been about physical media.
Mm-hmm.
Put the game in, it'll play. They can't do that. They don't do that anymore mainly because one, they want to resell the games. I think companies nowadays want to resell games
because they know that it's still worth value. Go ahead.
I guess, but they still want to resell games, I think. And then and like I said, like, to me, backwards compatibility is what it is any game you put on there, you put in, that's it. Announcing games being backwards compatibility, that's fake. In my opinion, that's fake. It's not real backwards compatibility.
It's a faulty product.
Because you're telling me that I have to wait for you to to make this game and that game playable. With the Xbox One, they still didn't they didn't put Jet Set Radio Future as backwards compatibility for backwards compat. Why? And I do think part of the reason why, because one is it's a Sega title technically, and two, Sega, I don't think Sega wants to deal with the whole licensing issue that they will have to deal with. Looking for licensing issues and licensing agreements and stuff like that for an old game that they're not making money off of. Why would they want to do that?
Because they probably would make money off of it now.
But they didn't, and the game's still not available for backwards compatibility on Xbox. If they felt like it was worth it, it would be there. Wait, it's not there.
You said the game belongs to. If the game belongs to Sega, what's the issue? If it belongs to them,
but the problem is there's stuff in the game that need to be licensed out. They can't just put anything in the game and just put and be like, okay, that's our game. No, there's stuff that's in the game, and I'm not fully. And look, I'm not fully. I don't know everything about licensing, but I can guarantee you the reason why there's a bunch of games on the PlayStation now that's not there is due to licensing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So okay, let me read from Double Shooter. Why don't PC fuckers not speak out on Nintendo attacking emulation? No, I think because when it comes to this is not a topic, but personally, I think PC gamers are closet Nintendo fans. A lot of them are. They're
What?
not. They're closeted Nintendo
You
fans. They don't call.
serious?
Yeah, I am serious.
Hmm.
A lot of them don't call out Nintendo for anything. They don't. They're like a lot of PC gamers that I hear, especially back in the day, they're always like, "Well, I don't need it. I don't need an Xbox or a PlayStation because I can play all your games better." But when it comes to Nintendo, they can't do that with Nintendo. So they'll buy a Nintendo console, and by and large, Nintendo games do run at 60 FPS. So they're like it's fine. But like I said, there are definitely some PC gamers who will who will try to do, they'll try to emulate Nintendo games and stuff like that. There's definitely, you know, there's definitely stuff going on there. But all right, Titanfall Prison says facts, Hoovy. Thank you so much, Titanfall. Thank you for the support. And then let me see. Let me read down here. Let me read. Okay. Malta says I'm sure people would like this to be focused on new games, but at the same time, people would rather play remasters of old games rather than the old games. Like
Exactly. Okay. Now this is what I was trying to say from the beginning.
mhm.
If these developers could bring up old games for nostalgia, but also improve the game, that's more than just an added bonus. You
Yeah,
basically play.
it's the only reason why I bought the GTA remaster.
Yeah, yeah. If a game is remastered, they improve the controllers, they improve 60 frames per second, all that other good stuff. To
Mhm.
me, in my personal opinion, it adds obviously it's for nostalgia, but also they basically enhance the experience
That's
because
fine,
because the game got better.
yeah, but look at the results of the remaster of Grand Theft Auto. And like I said, I didn't have as big of an issue as other people, but even look at the issue that they went cheap with it. They went cheap with it, and the game release effed up.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they went cheap with it, and it ended up messed up. Like again, my contention is I don't mind the extra stuff, but the most important thing is the new games. And I'll highlight this comment from Malta from Titanfall Princess. New console, new games. That's simple.
New console, new games.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like that's what I grew up on. That's what you grew up on. Like I'm not buying a PlayStation. I'm not buying a PS2 to simply play PS1 game. No, I'm not doing that. I can do it, and it had actual backwards compatibility. Where if I wanted to play a game on PS1, I can just pop the disc in. I don't have to wait for Sony to do this extra bullshit with it. No, you put the game in, I can play it.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah. And this whole notion of if you want to play old games, just buy the old console. I mean, yeah, you could do that, but to me, backwards compatibility was a big deal when PS2 when people bought the PS2 and people were able to play PS1 games. Everybody that was appreciated, and the same thing with the PS3. And,
Yeah,
I, and
but the thing is that what was appreciated about it that you can play those games day one right away on that system.
yeah,
You couldn't do that with the Xbox. When the Xbox One came out, you couldn't play none of those Xbox 360 games.
but if you had the physical copy, you'd be fine though, right?
No, I don't think so.
Even with the physical copy.
No, you couldn't. No, you
Hmm.
couldn't. Same thing with the PS4. You couldn't play PS3 games on there.
Oh, I think you're right. Oh, snap.
You know what I mean? Like that, and hold on. I'll get to Moto's comment in a second. Let me go to his other comment. Let me read this. I've seen a lot of people on Instagram commenting on photos of N64 they played as kids and saying, "I wish this was remastered so bad so I can play it again." Yeah,
Once
I agree
again,
with that.
that proves my point.
I agree with him there. I agree.
Yeah,
And then let me answer this real quick, and then we can go. Then we can go on. Right? What is fake backwards compatibility? Is what I
okay.
just said. Fake backward compatibility is when they're announcing games that are backwards compatible from time to time, right? Fake backwards compatibility is when a game when like honestly I'll consider the Switch in their program whatever that's fake backwards compatibility. That's fake because you're picking a select few of select games that you can use to essentially resell them and make money off of them back, with the online service program that they have. That's fake. That's completely fake.
Yeah, what you're basically saying that if you're going to offer backwards compatibility, all of their games should be available day one. That's what you're
Yeah,
basically saying.
it should be available, especially like physical. And I get the reason why they're not, but when it comes to physical media, if I have a disc, if you're telling me that the console is backwards compatible with the previous console, I should be able to take the previous disc, put it in the new console, and it should play. Period. I shouldn't have to fucking wait till you announce, oh, Max Payne 3 is backwards compatible. That's fake backwards compatible in my opinion.
I agree. You know what? I'm actually gonna have to take that stance with you. Yeah, I actually agree with that. Because if I have the physical copy to play an old Metal Gear game, an old Splinter Cell game, or what have you, I shouldn't have to wait for you to announce an old game that I probably have anyway. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So I agree.
Exactly. All right. So Moto said, I would rather play them on the actual console. To me, it depends. Like to
Does it
me, it
really
depends.
matter? Doesn't why would that matter? You still get to play the game.
But I'll tell you, it does when it comes. I'll give you the example with Grand Theft Auto, right? The definitive edition, right? Vice City. They have two Michael Jackson songs that's not in there.
Oh snap! You serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
And some people, and for some people that's a big to me that's a big deal. I'm not happy. I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with that.
Yeah.
Like but if you play the original game, you don't have to deal with none of that. If you get the game the way it was meant to be played. Would I want the game to be the way that it was meant to be played? Put it on on better hardware, keep everything that was in the game, but makes it run better, not low when you go from city to city. I would prefer that. That's the ideal.
Yeah.
That's ideal. You know what I mean? But like I said, Timefall Princess said she would love a Bloodborne too. A lot of people would. A lot of people would. You know what I mean? And a lot more. And I think a lot more people should care more about that than being able to play random PS1 or PS2 game.
Well,
That's
okay,
all I'm saying.
right. About that, you see, I don't know if you remember when they were announcing that they were going to remake, when Sony was going to remake the original, Last of Us. I don't know if you remember that,
Hmm.
but they were going to announce that. I don't know if they did it, but they were announcing a remake of Last of Us. And
Hmm.
I remember a while back, Capcom wanted to announce a remake of Resident Evil 4, but then they never went with it. But you saw the drastic improvement when they made Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3.
Hmm.
So once again, we're talking about nostalgia. We're talking about remasters, and we also want to include remakes. A lot of people have been demanding, especially me, of a lot of the Nintendo or Super Nintendo games that we wish that they were remade. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? But at the end of the day, though, having that's still considered as an old game.
Okay.
That's still considered as an old game. So what I'm saying overall is you have millions upon millions upon millions upon millions. Look at the evidence with people wanting games to be remastered, remade, emulation. People are actually subscribed, to these subscriptions so they could play old games. The market is there. The demand is there.
I
And
know the
so,
market is there,
so
but
to
is it the responsibility of these console manufacturers who are trying to sell us new shit to concentrate on the old stuff? And I'm saying that it's not. It shouldn't be their responsibility.
I
It
think it's
shouldn't be.
okay. I think it's okay if it's an added bonus. That's all I'm saying. If it's an added bonus, like if you have a new console and new games are being made, but yet you want to also include old games, fine. I'll take it. That's an added bonus for me. To me, that's a system seller. If you had an option to pick one console that will give you new games, or another console that will give you new games, and you have be able to experience nostalgia, I'm getting that console.
Okay.
That's the console that I'm getting.
All
So
right. Well,
go ahead.
before I get to the second half of this topic, 'cause we haven't even got to that yet. Answer this question from Malta. Traditionalist is a real American with that flag in the back.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, of course. I'm proud. To be an American. To experience freedoms and all that. Even though I think we're losing some of our freedoms anyway. But yeah, I'm a traditionalist. I'm a conservative. So yeah, God bless America, bro.
All right. Um, Now, Double Shooter, here's the comment that he made that's gonna pivot to the next portion of what I want to talk about. Right. Want BC? Go to PC emulation. That's the best you'll get. Right. And that's what I'm gonna do because what I believe was gonna happen is that this is the Trojan horse for them to put all Sony put all their games on PC to put them day and date with PC and PlayStation day one. That's what they're going to. This is what they're going to. This is the ultimate goal of this service.
To to put them on PC.
To do exactly what Game Pass is doing. All their games day and date on the service for PlayStation and PC.
Mm, that doesn't. How does that benefit PlayStation?
I mean, at the end of the day, like if they're going to come, if it's benefiting Microsoft, it's likely going to benefit PlayStation. If it's benefits Microsoft, it's going to benefit PlayStation. So, and I already said that when that happens, then I'm done with the PlayStation console. I'm done with PlayStation console. I'll play your game, but I'll play them on PC.
Wait, that comment also includes the new games that comes out day one.
That's what I think. That's what I think is going to lead to it. They didn't announce it yet, but that's what I think is going to lead to.
Oh man, yeah. Well, what would be the incentive to buy a console anymore?
That's my question. That's been my entire argument the whole time. That's been everything that I talked about when it comes to subscription services, when it comes to fake backwards compatibility. Everything lends like to my argument of, yo, what's the point of these consoles? What's the point? Like I said, I'm like again, all this stuff individually, I have no problems with. But if everything is being put together in a sense where now all of a sudden the only thing that matters is the only thing that matters is not the games on the console anymore. Just it's the controller or it's the ecosystem or it's the or anything that has nothing to do with exclusive games. I want no part of it. I want no part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Sony is actually. I don't think Sony will go that far. They can't be that dumb.
They're going. Look, they're going to go in this direction. Like Double should have said, "Oh, look at this dude thinking Sony won't go full PC, won't go full PC." Like this is the next step. This is the next step, in my opinion. They're going to go. They're going to go in this direction.
All right,
You heard Jim Ryan crying and complaining about not having their games everywhere. This is the step. This is the next step.
and this is where you will stop fully supporting it if
I
they
mean,
if they go that route.
I'm done with consoles after that.
Okay, but wait. So what? Why? Well, I'm not calling you out, but Microsoft was already doing that since the original Xbox, didn't they?
No,
No,
they
the
did that
360,
in the beginning.
360.
No, not really, because I know they did that with the original Halo, and I think they did that with the original Gears, but the sequel didn't go on PC. At least to my knowledge, I'm not 100% sure, but I know for a fact that it was one of the. I know that they haven't been completely PC until Game Pass, and them doing that for Game Pass made it easier.
Yeah, yeah. But what I'm saying is, you still supported, the Xbox. You bought the Xbox One knowing that all of their games would be on PC. You might as well
Yeah,
have the same. You might as well have the
no,
same.
no, 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 no. Because like I said, Xbox is my secondary console. PlayStation is my main console. I don't need to spend I don't need to spend a ridiculous amount of money for Xbox. I don't do that. Right? I don't do that. I do that for PlayStation because they're the one that make my favorite games. Now, if you're telling me that my favorite games are gonna be on PC on better hardware and they don't have to deal with the same, I with the past thing, I don't know if they're probably gonna have to pay for online also. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but if I'm gonna play my games on better hardware, then and they're gonna be day and date, then yeah, I'm gonna go there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go there. Let me read this from Walter real quick. Do y'all think this gen of games will sell consoles or subscription services? Honestly, I think what Microsoft is banking on them on the games selling subscription services. That's what they're banking on. And
Yeah.
Sony don't want to be left behind in that regard.
Well, for me, I don't think Sony doesn't need to, try to, emulate Microsoft. Like when it comes to, subscription services. Like if they feel like, what they're doing is fine, they're still selling the most consoles, than Microsoft is. So I don't necessarily believe that they need to rush and try to, emulate, Game Pass. They don't need to.
Uh, but they're doing it with this service. Like I don't care what anyone said. This is a step in this is the step in that direction. This is a step in that direction because you look at all the influencers that are bragging about this. Like again, like and if you can convince one adult that with this console, their games cost $70. On our console, you're in a subscription service, and you get to only pay like $10 to $15 a month for that service. They're going to pick the service
True.
eventually. They're
Yeah.
they're going to pick the service eventually. All
Yeah.
they need is one game to kind of get people into that ecosystem. And Sony don't want to be left behind in that. You know what I mean? For a lot of people, people think it's going to be Halo. And Halo, to me, the new Halo game looks fun, but you hear some of the stuff that the game has and doesn't have. This is the reason. Like this is the scary part when it comes to subscription services. Because if you're only going to offer, if you're going to give someone the access to a game for $10, you're not gonna give them everything. You're gonna tell them to wait, and ultimately the justification for it is going to be, well, you only paid $10 for it, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
And again, I don't really like subscription services that much because once again, you don't have full control of or any say of what goes in or what game gets removed. And because I don't have that option, that's why I'm never going to support subscription services in full, which is why I still buy physical copies in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like I prefer to have, a collection. I prefer to have comics, not go on freaking what do you call it? That stupid tablet where you could read whatever it is that you want. What's the thing called? Do you know what I'm talking about? That it's a tablet where you could read whatever it is that you want to read.
I
Oh
don't.
man,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I can't remember. Maybe one of the guys in the chat might remember. But it's basically
Who makes it?
I forgot what's it called, man. Damn, I forgot what's it called. But my overall point is I understand why people want to go to digital. Mostly it's Gen Z. I think a lot of millennials still prefer physical copies. I know I do, but I can't support subscription services in full. I can't do it because you already saw me complain about how they have the decision to remove certain movies or certain games, and and then if you didn't download the game in time, well, you're out of luck now. You no longer have access to the game anymore. And you go through that now, with cell phone games. Like people been complaining about how you can't download this game, you can't download that game, And hey, that's what happens when you go full digital. You no longer have any type of control anymore.
I agree, but that's the direction that everything's going in. Double Shooter said no. Current Sony is 100% that dumb. Honestly, I have to. Well, I mean, if they're gonna make money, if the goal is to make money, then that's what it is. But if it's not the direction that I'm interested in, then I'm over it. Let me see. He said, "LOL, they will not have to pay for online. No way in hell." Like if they're gonna if this service has, because the thing with, I think with Game Pass is that it comes with online, it comes with Xbox Live also. So what they did was they sneakily snuck in Xbox Live and Game Pass for PC. So as far as if the subscription is affordable to them, then that it is what it is. Malta said that Halo Infinite is so gnarly. Yeah, I look at gameplay of that game all the time. It looks fun. I like Halo 5. I like the multiplayer for Halo 5.
Yeah.
And like I said, Halo Infinite looks good. Like I
Yeah.
like.
And regarding to when he said, it'll be dumb. I mean, we have to pay online. To me, like I think Sony, I think that's a very good idea. Like if you want to play, Sony games, you're either gonna have to buy it, and you're just gonna have to, pay, for online if you
Well,
want to play
the one
Sony
thing
games.
that Sony hasn't done yet is put a multiplayer focused game on PC yet. They haven't done it yet. Like Uncharted is supposed to come out on PC, I think next month. It's not gonna have the multiplayer in there.
Okay, so there you go. I
But
honestly,
but if it is gonna come a time, and this is where I think this service is gonna come into play with Spartacus. It's gonna come into play. You know, when it goes day and date with PC, which I think is going to, then they can just say that PlayStation Plus, online is included into the service, and they have to pay for the service anyway to get access to the game. So,
right.
they'll just do what Microsoft did. And then Double Shooter said that I'm saving for a PC, and once I go, I'm done with consoles outside of Nintendo. You know, I'm the same way. I'm not gonna buy a Nintendo console, but I'm the same way. Like once there's no need for consoles anymore, I'm going straight to PC. I'm doing the same thing. Malta said I haven't played the campaign yet, which came out today. And look at that, right? There's a game that you've been playing that I see people playing for weeks and weeks and weeks, and now to get access to the campaign today.
That's not acceptable to me.
No, but like to me, like look, I like with that it's not that big of a deal to me because I don't play Halo campaign, so it doesn't bother me. But look at what the subscription service is doing to some of these games. They're releasing these games in fragments. That's
Yeah.
what 343 essentially did with Halo. They released the game in fragments.
Yeah, in pieces. Yeah.
And to me, when it comes to like other games, like that would bother me. It bothered me with Street Fighter. It bothered me with Gran Turismo. And I paid $60 for those games. I paid full price for those games.
Yeah, you pay full price for incomplete game. That's what you did.
Yeah, I did. I did. I can't argue that. But it's gonna be worse with subscription services. It's gonna be worse. Titanfall Prison said, "Did you know that most digital games on Xbox don't work offline, even if you own them?" Wow, I didn't know that.
Well, didn't they mention that they were trying to bring the whole DRM back and implement it back, into years ago, I believe. So yeah, if you were offline, you won't be able to play the game offline either, even if it's just a single player mode.
All right.
Which is something I clearly do not support. Clearly do not support, because now they're forcing you to pay the extra money to play a game that has nothing to do with online. Has absolutely nothing to do with online, but yeah, you still forcing me to pay extra money just to play the game. See, that's the thing that pisses me off. So not only do I have to buy the game, but now I have to also basically
No,
pay.
wait. With her, I think what she's saying is that if you're offline, you can't play the games,
Yeah, you can't.
which is dumb. Like
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
if I bought the game, I should be able to play it online and offline.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like if you buy the game, you purchase, you spend money to buy the game, but now you have to pay again because you have to pay online to play the game.
Uh,
So I'm not in favor for that at all.
all right. So Double Shooter said, short term they'll make more money. Long term we'll see. Like yeah, we'll see, man. Like, but like I said, I can't worry about their wallets. I can't worry about their wallets. I can't justify what they're doing simply by just saying, oh well, they'll make more money out of it. I can understand it, but I'm not gonna do what Xbox fanboys did. They bent the knee to Microsoft because they care about the brand. They don't care about the games. At least I think a lot of them don't. You know what I mean? Like I know there's some Xbox dudes who care about the games, but there's other ones that care mainly about the brand. They want the brand to do well. I want the game to do well.
Me too.
That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? So Double Shooter also said PC players will actually stand against paying for online. It won't happen.
Oh,
No, he's right. He's right about that. They won't stand for it. But if it's in the subscription, if it automatically comes in the subscription, then I don't think they're gonna make a big fuss out of it. If you get to pay, if you're playing, let's say if you're paying like $15 a month to access all these PlayStation games, I don't think they're gonna complain about online being part of that subscription. You get what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, because it's more, it's like a package deal. So I don't necessarily think they'll get upset over it either. Especially the fact that now you basically have all these games, and with the addition of all the PlayStation games, yeah, I don't necessarily think they'll complain too much about it.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, Truth. I get what you're saying. You're just saying. I know you're not justifying it. I know that. And and Terry 309, thank you for watching. He said that they tried it with Xbox with games for Windows Live. That is true. Microsoft tried this before and it didn't work. But the difference is that with Game Pass, they give you access to like over 180 games or something like that. So this is gonna be the last comment because I do have to get ready to go to work. So yeah.
Terry 309. I don't know. Is this his first time in this podcast?
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you, bro.
I think Moto knows him.
Yeah, appreciate it so much.
And this is pretty much this is what justifies everything that's going on in the gaming industry right now. That it's normal now releasing unfinished games, and he's right about that.
Dude,
It's been normalized.
This is what I was trying to tell you, even way beforehand. Like I saw this thing coming, and just to let you all know, that's in this chat right now. I told this to my friend over here. That was which he criticized me, by the way. This was one of the reasons why I did not support last gen at all. I didn't buy any consoles last gen. He knew that I was sick and tired of all the, what do you call it, microtransactions, all the pay to win stuff, all the, the fact that you can, pop in your game and just play, all this stuff. And now with the whole, subscription service, I was getting so fed up, with the gaming industry that I just completely stopped supporting it. I completely stopped supporting it. Now, there are games that I want to play now, but I'm slowly, I'm slowly, gradually. It's like it's very subtle. Right now, I'm trying to, get into it, but when I constantly hear more news like this, all it does is just pushes me away even more when it comes to the gaming industry.
Yes,
So,
it's only gonna get worse from here. So it's only gonna get worse from here. So on that, no, I don't know if we talked everything about Spartacus, but
no, we didn't.
no, but it's fine. It's fine. We got. Thank you guys for Okay, yeah, I did say that. I did say that. At least the one that I deal with are closet Nintendo fans.
Oh yeah, you did say that. You did.
I think the one that I deal with, and the reason why, because like I said, they a lot of them don't have the same criticism for Nintendo that they do for everyone else. And this is coming from a company that now is giving you is offering online, is charging you to play games online. Their online service is dog shit compared to the other two, and like it is what it is. It is what it is. But anyways,
Oh, let's read this one last final comment. He said with consoles they build them to be restrictive so that they can enforce their paywalls. Woo. Um. Wait, do you want to start first with that before you go?
No, no, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Well, he's not wrong there. Like your personal PC is what it is. Personal PC. That's your gaming device.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, when it comes to consoles, yeah, they are being restrictive, but I mean, I don't really mind it, too much. I don't really mind it,
no, no, what I mind, and this is the last thing, because I legit do have to go.
Yeah.
What I mind is that not only are they restrictive, they like you do everything that they have all the same bullshit that PC gamers deal with, but with the additional headache of paying to play games online, and unfinished games and all the other shit that PC gamers won't deal with.
Or Nintendo. Don't forget Nintendo.
No, 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 no. When it comes to third party, they deal with it all the time.
Well, I'm talking about the first party games.
Yeah, well, okay, but Sony don't deal with it with their first party games.
Oh, okay, fine. I'll
They
agree.
don't.
All right.
But when it comes to Nintendo, is a lot of the third party games, especially back during the Wii U era, like they dealt with a bunch of bullshit ports, and
Yeah,
even with the Switch, they deal with bullshit ports, and it should not be the case.
agreed.
Should not be the case. But anyway, I do have to go. I gotta go to work. But anyway, I do want to give a thank you to Terry 309,
Harry
Double Shooter,
309. Yeah,
Malta,
Malta.
Brendan Chandler,
Yeah.
Titanfall Princess. I didn't forget anybody, did I?
You forgot Emily White.
No,
Who
no, no.
who is
That's
that?
not a real person.
Oh, really?
No, that's not a real person. Like,
Okay. Well, I'm glad you caught it because I didn't know.
but
Okay.
anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, if you I have a Twitter account, Hoovy321. Um, Traditionalist, he has his Twitter account. I have an Instagram, Hoovy123. You guys want to continue the conversation there, we can do that. And I think it's a good conversation to have. Like it's a good conversation to have about pretty much the future of gaming. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because like I said, it's something I care about gaming a lot, and I know you do too. And I don't want to see gaming, become what it's slowly becoming, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I'm the traditionalist 101. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's pretty much my name, Stephen Ring 85. But you could just put all that in the description box.
Yeah, yeah, I got a
And
lot of stuff to do with it comes to like doing the timestamps and stuff like that. I'll get all that stuff done. Don't worry.
yeah, so when you do that, I'm gonna make sure I subscribe to each and every one of you guys because I really appreciate the support. And then if you guys are doing a podcast or video, I'll be there to support you all as well, guys and gals. So having has to go. So this is the Traditionalist 101 signing out. You all have a good one.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Tiny Fall Princess. This is Hoovy 186. I'm out. Peace.